Okie dokie. Okay. Hello, 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 hello. What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? Suckers! Let's stop that American patriotic music in the background here. Maybe we could have it. Maybe we can have it in the background just a little bit. Hey guys, what's going on? Gangster Duck Gaming, Stephanie, Magano, Morphin Time. Ronan, I see you. I see you. Eating. I am. Wait. You don't hear. Wait. Did you not hear any music that entire time? No, you should be able to. I think the music is gone now. Am I in a nightshirt? Why? Why does that matter so much? Like, yes, I'm in a nightshirt. You know why? Because I just woke up. That's why. I don't get up and become beautiful for you guys. I'm not a e-thought. I'm not an e-gamer. Like, this is definitely one of those deals where a virtual a VTubing, if I had a virtual version of me, this would definitely come in handy today. But we're not doing that right now. And I need to grow out my beard for another shoot later this week. So yeah, that's basically why you're getting what you're getting right now. I was hungover and I woke up and here I am. The internet delays for no one, basically. But I do have my coffee, so that's good. I'm kind of stalling because I'm waiting. I was waiting for Tyrone to join. He said he was going to join, and I gave him the link, but he even asked me. He's like, "Oh, are we starting or not?" And but I don't see him right now, so I don't know what's going on right now. So because I don't really have much. If I was a VTuber, I could be naked. Who says that I'm not? Below. Nah. I was thinking about doing the green screen and all that other stuff, but I decided not to. We're going natural today. We're just going natural. I'm gonna buy some lights in the sometime this week. I'm gonna do something in the back because I got a gift. I got a gift from somebody with a bunch of figures. So I figured I figured it'd actually be kind of good to decorate this back area here with some action figures instead. Get that illuminated a little bit more. So maybe later this week. Oh, that does remind me. My Wednesday, your America's Tuesday. My Wednesday, America's Tuesday. We're going to be there won't be a stream. There's no Flash this week, right? And no Superman and Lois is still on delay on not on the air, right? But this Wednesday I need to do a shoot for another commercial, so I'm not going to be available. So we some things are going to be delayed. Yeah, just letting you guys know. Flash is coming. Okay, so no for good. All right. It has been an interesting 48 hours. All right. Let me bring in the man here. Tyrone.
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, super digital. he's using that amazing Wi-Fi from Japan here. Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Oh, good.
I think we can all hear it, but maybe he's a little too low. Hold on. Let me turn down this patriotic music. All right. Yeah, check your mic.
Oh, sorry. Actually, hold on. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, much better. Yeah.
That was actually on me.
Okay, it's all good. You got a haircut and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking good, man. All right. So, they know how I felt about this Falcon and the Winter Soldier for the most part, and we've had a lot of discussions, even on John Walker, for the most part. But what did
I talk?
Yeah, no, it's all good. Professor Nutface, thank you for joining as well. Impulse, thank you for joining. But yes, all right. So, what did you think about this show as a whole?
As a whole, I liked it as a whole. Overall,
there was hesitation there. There was a lot of hesitation there. Yeah.
Well, because in the beginning, I didn't hate it. I wasn't sold on it in the beginning. But and I really was like, they brought in another Captain America.
Really?
And well, when they brought in John Walker.
You're talking about John Walker.
Yeah, and I was like, this guy. And I was like,
was that surprising
but then,
for you?
Well, for a second, and then I was like, well, that name sounds familiar, and I looked it up.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's U.S. agent. So never mind.
US agent.
It's just a build up for them to add more characters. I get it.
Right.
But overall, I enjoyed it. It's just at times I felt like Bucky and Sam's banner at times was kind of their bickering was kind of annoying.
Oh, really?
A little bit, but I enjoyed it. I get it. It kind of was like the comedy relief and everything. So I know that's their relationship. So
right. That was supposed to be kind of like like one of their best parts about Civil War and some of that other stuff.
Yeah, their bantering is funny. Yeah.
Right. Like that. Like I would say though, I also agree that at times it felt a little too much. I knew what they were trying to go for, but it seemed like it wasn't the same feeling as what we were used to. I don't know what it was. It wasn't like the same quality as what we were used to in the movies. So at times it was kind of like, okay. And I was thinking about why this show didn't feel as strong, so to speak. And I think that's the main reason is because we're so used to these dudes being on the silver screen, on the big screen. So we're used to usually their moments being deservedly on the big screen. So when we see them on TV, it doesn't feel as grand, so to speak. That's kind of my thought about it. Whereas compared to WandaVision, we barely see Wanda and we barely saw Vision. We saw them in the big screen, whatever, but they were part of a bigger ensemble. So they weren't like the main focus. So having their sort of story being told, and then WandaVision being the way it was absolutely meant for TV. We were seeing it in a way that could never really have been done on the big screen. So sometimes we had those like moments where they were like, you're not going to move your seat or something like that. And he's like, no. It was funny. It was funny to see that, but it kind of also made me wish like we were just watching a movie of them instead, if that makes sense. Like I felt like sometimes the direction of this show sort of suffered. The story, the pacing and the directing suffered a lot. And for example, I was wondering why I felt like that speech that Sam made at the end was like so like for me personally, it was just it's a little like cringy, and I was wondering why for me it was like that. It's because I see Grant or the Flash doing that every week, having like a speech or something and trying to talk somebody down and doing this motivational thing. And I think that's the reason why for me it didn't hit. Like, I mean, I understood completely what the point was, but I also felt like it reminds me of what somebody else was saying during that exchange that they had with the shield, when they were throwing the shield, and Bucky was like, when Steve first told me what he was planning, I don't think either of us really thought about what it'd be to pass the shield down to a black man. And like some people really had a problem with that. Not necessarily what they were trying to say, but in the way that it was directed, in the way that it was kind of being put out there. And I can agree with that. Is just there was something kind of amateur about some of those interactions. In for example, that white dude, when Sam was talking to at the end of his big speech, this dude was like, well, you just don't understand. And I was like, ugh. Like, I was just like, wait, was that their best take of this? Like they didn't have a chance to, like, nobody told them like, hey, can you try to give that line one more time? And can we edit this a little bit better? I don't know. I just don't know what it was, but some of those scenes felt really amateurish and therefore kind of took me out of it. But that's personally just me, because I'm so used to seeing some CW type of stuff. Digimail, thank you for following. Anyway,
I get it. I think I agree with you. I felt like some parts of the whole, being a black man in America theme was kind of forced, or they were trying to fit it in. It felt like I don't know. I felt like a lot of those characters that is something that they would have thought of, that they would have realized, like everyone, like like his speech, like when like John Walker and Bucky was like, oh yeah, at the end he was like, oh, like they were realizing some things, like are you like, where were you living at? And John Walker, your best friend's a black man, so I'm pretty sure you've had those conversations. Now,
that is a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah. Like everybody on the sides, they're like everybody like everybody on the side. I don't think that's what it was. I don't think they were I don't think they were just making that realization.
No, I think they were just agreeing with him.
Yeah, they were just agreeing, but I agree. It had that like weird. It had that weird like South Park parody type of feel of just like, like when, like in the older South Park episodes, when I believe it was Kyle used to make those speeches and everybody be like, yeah, like everybody like they were like one moment away from everybody just essentially applauding, and like like John Walker doing a slow clap and Bucky. It was something really kind of weird about that entire interaction. And I hate that, because what he was saying was really important, and it needed to be heard, but it came out, it felt really amateurish, just the way the whole pacing of that whole season finale. But okay, but some people are saying we're nitpicking.
Brian 18, true, we are nitpicking, because overall I love the show, and every week I was excited to see it, and so we are just nitpicking. It's Marvel, and like honestly, the quality of these Disney Plus shows like are top notch compared to most shows on television. So they're like little mini movies.
Yeah, I would.
Like the quality of like the special effects and the amount of money that they're putting to these episodes. You can tell it's Disney. So
it's weird though, because I felt like I don't know what it was, but I felt like that last episode just didn't have the same quality as the other episodes did. I don't know if it's because of the fact that they had more action in it that we've seen, but like it just something about it felt really weird. Just the entire pacing of it. I honestly it felt like a different director was doing that last episode, but from what I've been told, I think it's been the same director the entire time. So maybe that's just not their forte. And then it was just little things. I'm like, wait a second, did this dude just throw a chair at the shield? Did a chair legit deflect a vibranium shield? Like when they had that standoff and Sam threw it, and like that. I was like, wait a second, come on
Yeah.
now. But whatever. Yeah. The finale was a bit too dark visually. Yeah, I mean that was some like. But you know what? I will give that a pass only because um that there was a lot of CG involved. Like there was a lot of there was a lot of CG involved. And I understand I understand like what people were saying about that, but it was kind of just like you could tell when Falcon was flying around, especially in that intro, that was all CG because like when you pause on that scene where he first throws the shield into the building, like that looks like a whole nother brother. Like that, like it's not even. It's like it. In fact, it kind of looks like you, Tyrone. When like I paused it, I'm like, damn, like that. Like you could tell that was all CG'd up. So it's like whatever. Like it's not, but you know, a good example of trying to shoot during the daytime was like look at the latest Mortal Kombat movie. No spoilers, but you know when they're in Outworld, you're like, yo, what is up? Like half of your face is covered in green because of the reflection from the green screen. And I'm like, okay, nobody had time to edit this in post or so. Yeah, but you know, it was and then that wire work at the end when Falcon was coming down, like somebody actually pointed it out to me. Like I didn't even think about it because I try to forget this movie as much as I can, but that scene where Falcon brings down that one person or whatever, here, let me bring it up for you guys.
Is it the helicopter scene?
No, look at this scene.
Cardi. When he brings down Cardi.
Yeah. No. It's this scene here where Falcon is coming down. They're like, it's exactly the same motion as when Superman was saving that person in BVS. Like almost it's like exactly the same touchdown and everything. I don't know if they sped it up or whatever, but like yeah, I was just laughing about how much like obvious wire work that was with him. But yeah, it's so interesting.
The wire angel,
the wire angel. It's crazy though. Like so, like again, this is like all like nitpicks and everything. Overall, it was a pretty decent show. But you know, for me personally, where are we? For me personally, definitely WandaVision had more of an impact. And you know, it's something I was looking about earlier. Is the fact that because there's been reports about how you know the Snyder Cut failed to impress and didn't really do what HBO was trying to do and whatever, right? But you know, there's a whole story about how you can't really believe everything you see on Twitter, and I've talked about this before, and the fact that Twitter is a hub of like you know the same sort of thought process. So you go on Twitter and you're believing that everybody is crazy about this season finale. Everybody's crazy about this show, right? But you know, something that I came to realize here is, well, even look at the Comics Plus crew. You and I are the only people that have actually watched this show, like finished it actually. Possibly DC Sun has finished it. Josh didn't even start. JJ didn't even start. Marta didn't even start. You know, like it seems that even though it might be doing well within the hardcore fandom of Marvel, it's not necessarily what the general audience has been rushing to go watch right now. I don't know. I don't know. I just it just seems kind of weird. It's interesting. Like more people were definitely. I feel that more of the average person, people were talking about WandaVision, where with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it seems like the usual people, the usual suspects. Have been talking and critiquing and discussing it, but not on the same level of like everyday general people wondering what the hell's going on with WandaVision. So it's interesting. Yeah.
I feel like I don't know if it's I feel like more people got into it after that. What is it? That Agatha song.
Yeah,
I heard because because after that song, I actually heard people say they went back and they actually watched the show because
Really?
of that. A couple of people was like, "Oh yeah, I was gonna watch it, but then I saw that song, so I actually thought I'd start watching it now." And yeah, I also think that this show, Winter Falcon, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, would have been better if it could have been longer, because I can tell like that there's more that they wanted to
Yep.
do, and I feel like that they cut out a lot of things that they were
Yep.
or they
Absolutely.
rushed some things, like because yeah, I don't know what the original plan was. I imagine it might have been 10, but
Or maybe 8, at least 8 or
eight, maybe
9.
eight, yeah,
Like I
eight,
think
but
Wanda was 8, right?
eight, yeah, it
Like
was eight,
that
yeah,
seems to be the I think that seems to be the magic Disney number basically is
yeah,
Mandalorian 8, everything
eight,
8.
yeah,
Everybody's going with 8 right now. 10 would be
yeah,
better, but
yeah, Tim.
no, you're right. I mean, see, and that's another thing for me, like I think Alex makes a really good point. He's just saying, like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier had a shitload of stories. And honestly,
Mm,
for me personally,
mm.
most of them I didn't really care about. Like the only one I kind of was interested in was the boat. Like it's like
So,
the boat
this
storyline
is
was like it was it was kind of dumb, but at the same time
mm,
it was kind of engaging and realistic because they were
yeah,
exploring what happens to people after they blip out and how you got no
yeah,
credit and blah 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 and how
yeah,
Avengers don't make money. Not
yeah.
all Avengers make money and they're not bankrolled by Stark. It was kind of cool, but like the super soldier
Yeah,
thing, yeah.
which is kind of weird for me. I was just thinking, like, I mean, I know it's his money, he's not obligated, but you would think that he's so rich that he would at least set up his fellow Avengers, so some
Well,
way,
see,
so
well,
hook them
I
up with
think,
like some way of making money. I
yeah,
don't know,
but
but
here's the
it's
thing.
also not his responsibility. So
Right, but here's the thing: people are trying to blame Stark. I'm like, I'm sorry, who lost the war? That's my
yeah,
thing. It's like I think a lot of people are starting to forget. A lot of people are forgetting is before the decimation, these dudes were on the run from the
yeah,
law. Like,
true.
they weren't even registered. Like, it's one thing if you actually complied and you
Mm,
registered with the Sokovia Accords. Captain
mm,
America was like, yeah, I'm not gonna like, I'm gonna be on the run.
mm,
Obviously Falcon followed. All these people are like complaining. Like, you can't complain if you went against the Sokovia Accords. Why you ain't got no money? So it's like,
fair enough.
that's
Yeah,
a whole nother thing. I'm like, yeah, okay, Stark ain't paying for shit, man. You almost tried to kill him. Like, come on
yeah.
now. Should have thought
Yeah.
of that beforehand. So it is fun. I kind of wish that did get explored a little bit more about
Yeah.
their involvement. It's like, look, they got decimated and all, but let's not forget that before Thanos, you all were actually against these people, and like I keep I have been wondering what happened to the Sokovia Accords after that. Have they been ratified? Since the decimation, like they never
Yeah.
really made it clear what happened.
Yeah. So they
Like,
might have forgotten about it.
right, because Captain America was like this legacy character now, but
Hmm.
let's not forget before Thanos showed up, this dude was on the run for the
Mm.
like, this
Mhm.
dude legit was on the run, and nobody talks about that anymore. It's weird. Like they keep on talking about the raft and all that other stuff, and
Mm.
like how patriotic and how Captain America was the best or whatever. Zemo
Mhm.
never brought up the fact that Steve went against the Sokovia Accords.
Mm.
Like, I thought that was really interesting. Like, that nobody is talking about that anymore. Yeah. If maybe that's what happened, is the reason they don't talk about it yet and they haven't explored it is because of the fact that Ross was kind of the main guy,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
he might have gotten dusted, and so that's why maybe we'll get
Kind
that
of.
later. Yeah,
Mm.
like they just kind of stopped dealing with it because the main person pushing it wasn't around. It's very possible. Very
Yeah. And
possible.
also, they probably think, well, we kind of have bigger fish to fry right now, so we can't. We have bigger problems right now.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Yeah. Steve was
yeah.
back at the facility in Endgame in year 5. Ah,
Uh,
that's right. That is right. They must have put it on hold, I guess. Like,
yeah,
or they ratified it or something like that. Because he's right. He's right.
mhm.
Because Steve was back and chilling at the facility at this point, and so it's not like he was on the run anymore. That is
Yeah,
interesting.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder if they have it. Yeah, they never really talked about that. I really wish they would, because that was such a huge point with Civil War.
Mm,
And yeah, very
yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
I do have one question. I was wondering while I was watching the show. So, what is the timeline of this in relation to WandaVision? Are these events happening at the same time,
I
or
think so. Yeah, I can't
okay,
imagine they're not. Yeah, like
okay,
which is, I believe, if I remember, the current timeline is 2023. I
yeah,
think.
I think
I
so.
think that's
Yeah,
when everybody got brought back. So it's probably 2023. The irony is, thanks to Corona, John, we about to catch up with
yeah, right. Yeah,
like, oh, what? 2014? No way. No,
because it
2000.
is.
Okay, thank you. I got it.
Uh,
2024.
yeah,
Six
2024.
six months
Oh, yeah.
after Endgame. Okay,
Okay. All
so it's
right.
the same
So
time as
it's about the
WandaVision.
same time. All
Yeah,
right. Well,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I was just wondering, I can understand why not too many people, I guess, showed up for WandaVision, because that the issue with that was kind of wasn't something that everyone knew about. It was like a secret. But the whole storyline with Winter Soldier and Falcon, I was like, where are their friends at to help them with this situation? Because it sounded like that this was a global issue.
Oh,
Like where was the Hulk, and where was, well, not Iron Man's dead,
right,
but
right,
where
right.
was like
Where
some
was
of the other
where was
people at?
Iron Man? Yeah, yeah.
Who's dead? No, no. But like, where
Um,
was the Hulk? And I was like, who was it? Well,
but
Thor.
I
Well,
mean,
Thor's doing his. I guess everyone's off doing their own thing.
yeah, I mean,
But
and that.
they might even be on planet. Who knows?
But I mean, that's comics in general. It's like
Yeah, true.
I mean, honestly, think about it. The Flag Smashers, like, come on now,
Yeah,
like, that is
no
not
one's
an
taking.
event. That is not an
Yeah,
Avengers level threat here. That's
yeah. And
just
it's
terrorism.
not really like an event that threatens the
Correct.
world as a whole. It
Correct.
kind of mostly threatened that organization, and
Correct.
because they weren't trying to hurt regular people. They were just trying to.
Right.
So yeah.
That's like just terrorism. And then, if anything, it actually is very similar to what's happening in the last season of Young Justice, or what happened in the last season of Young Justice. Is like, you know, after the fallout of Civil War, the last thing that they really want to be doing, the last thing some of these heroes really want to be doing, is getting involved in political situations,
Mhm.
because that easily could have, if they played their story correctly a little bit more, and if they had more time on a grander scale, what the flag smashers were doing, one world, one what did they call it, one country or something like that, one
Yeah.
love.
It's like one world, one people.
Yeah, one world, one people, one
Well, something like that.
blood. If that's all I think about every time they see that, I'm like, yeah, the game about to come out. Um, but my point is, if they had played that storyline a little harder, honestly, you could have had a civil war too. Um, all of those superheroes being displaced, and like, they could have had it to some point
Mhm.
where it'd be Falcon versus Bucky or something like that.
Yeah.
Zemo, like, it seems like actually that would have been perfect breeding to
Mhm.
actually have a bigger situation of Civil War Part 2, or even a mini Civil War, especially with
Mhm.
Zemo being around, because Sam seemed to be understanding where Carly was coming from.
Yeah.
That is interesting. That is very interesting, but they diffused it a little differently. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I think
um,
at some points, like, I kind of get her struggle, her fight, but I was also thinking, she's kind of going too hard. Like, she's really
yeah.
going, like, she's getting more and more and more extremes, and it's like,
No, yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
yeah, it's like
No,
to
you
the
got.
point, like, because I overall I actually liked her. It's like, well, I kind of get what you're fighting for. We don't want to lose your home, and they're trying to put these people in these camps, kind of reminiscent to the Second World War when we did the Japanese and internment camps. So it's kind of we just trying
Ah.
to but like you're not our problem. We want to no. But also I get the fact that yeah, people showed up now and they're strangers living in their homes and there's no easy answer.
Came back and he was doing my wife.
Yeah,
like that. Yo, that's the story I want to see. That legit is the story I want to see, where you got dusted and then you come back and another dude is fucking your wife. Yo, that's the story I really want to see. I don't think that, yeah, in my bed. Like, imagine if you got dusted and you were in your wife at that moment, and then you come back and like another dude is like, look, that's the ongoing joke that it's been going on for a while. Like, they showed like this one woman who was eating cinnamon and she was and she like powder everywhere. That's the story I want to see them cover, but Marvel will never do that. Marvel is never going to do that, but I would love to see that.
I get it though. Yeah. You come back and you go to your work and someone's at your desk. Oh, like, wait, I was supposed to be promoted vice president.
Who are you? Like that. Well, they actually kind of covered that a little bit with that agency that not Shield, it was
Sword.
Yeah. Was it Sword? Yeah,
I think it's Sword. Yeah,
you're right. Wait, was it Sword? So then Nick,
Sword.
Wait, what the hell? See, it's terrible that I'm forgetting all this so immediately. Because then what is Nick Fury's
Shield
group? No. The new version, is that still? So I don't remember. My thing, maybe whatever Nick Fury is doing isn't is Sword either, because originally when I first saw that in Far From Home, when that dude was up there and I was like, oh shit, that's Sword, because generally
Nick Fury runs
Sword is in space. But yeah, you're right, the version on the ground I think is called is Sword. That is wild. Okay. So maybe it's just I feel at this moment I'm pretty damn sure that what we're seeing Nick Fury do is separate from Sword. It may be possible. It might be possible he's still doing Sword, but that's still a version of Sword. But I'm almost 100% now that this is just him doing his own thing, preparing for the Secret Invasion storyline. So, which is especially with that kind of whack ass ending with the Power Broker. If Agent Carter is not a Skrull, then like that's just going to be such a wasted storyline.
Yeah, that's what some people are saying. Like, that they believe that it may not be her, or she may not even really be the Power Broker.
Right.
So I don't know.
And see, that was the other thing. Some of these storylines, their payoff wasn't that interesting for me personally. Their payoff wasn't that interesting. I'm like, ooh, okay, she's the Power Broker, the thing we all kind of knew. And like the way they were trying to set it up, like it was going to be something like really big. Nah, man, it was like it was. I don't know. I just felt like I don't think that IGN was too off on this rating for that. Like people got mad defensive about that with the fact that the IGN gave it like a 7 or something, 7 out of 10, and they're like, all right, maybe they gave it a 5 out of 10, that season finale. And Rotten Tomatoes, it's like the season finale was the lowest rated score out of all the episodes. But I honestly felt like it was kind of like it honestly matched because it wasn't really the big payoff. I didn't feel like there was a huge payoff. It was just like it was like, okay, he got his suit. Well, we knew the suit was coming. It wasn't like in terms of suit reveals, it was kind of like, look, like we knew the Falcon suit was coming, and we knew we had something to base it off of. But Wanda's suit, for me, just came out of nowhere. I was like, holy shit! I was like, yeah, right? I was like, holy shit! I was like, she finally got a goddamn an actual costume now. Like she ain't just wearing something from Hot Topic or some mom jeans from Forever 21 or something like that, man. Like seriously, like Wanda was like legit, like just she looked like she was stuck in the 90s with that Hot Topic jacket and everything. And I was like, all right. But I don't know. So that's personally me. Like I felt like that reveal was just amazing. Where personally for me, I felt like if you have a costume coming from Wakanda of all places, it's like, where's the sleekness of it? The wings looked fine, but I was like, yo, he looked kind of stiff in that. like, did he lose weight or something? Like, if anything, like I was like, I would have expected him, like, did he just like slim down a lot and then they didn't have time to tape up his outfit more? No, because
he was working out a lot. He was working out a lot.
Well, see, that's the thing. I was like, yeah, like he was working out, and then I guess he must have lost weight because that suit just looked baggy on him. Like I get the fact that it was comic book accurate, but it looked like he was they got the measurements off or something, and it was just too expensive to fill that out. Like I don't know. It was just, it looked like but at the same time, I was kind of like, all right, well, Steve's Captain America, his first couple of outfits were kind of whack too. Like they were more military, like more an actual military type of baggage type of thing until they really started slimming it down. And so, but I was just like, look, if the Wakandans made something, like, it seems weird that they would make something like that. Like everything that's come out of Wakanda has been like really silky, nanotech, like shiny type shit. Looking. Yeah, sleek. And I was like, damn, what happened? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with the comments. Dark. It was kind of bright for me too, coming from Wakanda. I would have figured it would have been like a darker color too. I was thinking the same thing. I was watching it yesterday, and I was like, it's kind of bright.
Yeah, it like really stands out. Like, and I get, like, I'm glad that the Twitter fans and all people are like jizzing over this costume, but I was just nice. Like, I'm not hating. It's just it like I was just like, woo, like it really stands out. And like it's one of those things of like for me personally, it's one of those things of like, you know, maybe I'll have to just get used to it or whatever, but it's really stands out. Like I would have gone more with a grayer tone or like invert it a little bit. I don't know, man. Like I like it personally. I felt if it was more smooth, and you know, who knows, maybe by the time this movie comes around, Captain America 4 will get a better looking costume, because this was a costume they made for hopefully it's only for, like, it was a one shot, maybe a one shot or a season 2 or whatever like that, but maybe, you know, I don't know.
Not to admit though, I think it's kind of it's kind of genius on Disney. This is just overall the whole television setup. I've been thinking about it for a while. It's kind of genius on Disney where because, you know, when you have like all these movies and you're waiting usually like months or years, you're waiting years between movies. So if they're giving you like these television shows and you're getting to see these characters consecutively, I think that that they're gonna see more sales on movie tickets. If we ever get back into theaters, that is. Who knows?
Well, see, that's the interesting thing. That whole thing with no, I mean, you're kind of right about that, but that whole thing with Julia Louis-Dreyfus playing, well, assuming she's playing Madame V. I hate when people, I mean, I can't hate it because I'm part of that crowd, that internet crowd, but everybody's just like, oh, she's playing Madame Hydra, blah, 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 blah. You didn't know that, blah, blah, blah. But they haven't announced anything yet. Yeah. But they were calling her Val at this point, but don't call her that. So she apparently was supposed to show up, or she's showing up in Black Widow. And the fact that everything's all delayed, that's why we didn't really know who she was, basically. Or we didn't really have that like shock of what, but I still felt like they did it okay with introducing her, because I was really taken back. I'm like, what the hell is Elaine doing in a Marvel movie? You know? I was like, oh, this is
that's the thing.
Well, no, hold on. I wanted to showcase something real quick. Sorry. This is something somebody shared with me that I thought it was kind of interesting about how Falcon and the Winter Soldier is supposed to be like all lives matter or something like that. Here, take a look at this.
I can't hear it, but
oh, you can't hear it? Oh, my bad.
Nah.
Wait, I gotta make sure. People in the chat, can you guys hear what he's? Can you guys hear this? These sound effects and all that other stuff. I don't know why on your side. Oh, you guys can't hear it either? What the fuck? This whole time? Okay, hold on. Let me.
So you're blasting music and stuff. No one can hear.
Right? It? Yeah. What the hell? So stop sharing. Okay, let's try it again. Share screen. Oh, share video file. No. Okay. Share audio. Okay, and then it should. Okay, let's try it again. See if this works.
Bro, why did it take so long to realize this? All right, so think about this. All Lives Matter was created because...
Could you guys hear any of that? No?
Yep.
Oh, you could hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's working. All right, that was weird. All right, here we go.
Yo, I just blew my own mind right now thinking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Oh my god. Spoilers if you haven't seen the finale. Spoilers. The Flag Smashers represent all lives matter. Bro, why did it take me so long to realize this? All right, so think about this. All Lives Matter was created because they believe Black Lives Matter excludes everyone else. Because they don't want to see Black lives as the only ones being in danger, so they create this stupid all-inclusive group, right? Now think of the Flag Smashers slogan.
One world. One people. One world. One people. One world. One people.
Starting to sound like some I don't see color shit, right? Now the Flag Smashers are upset because they feel the people who got blipped are taking more priority over them. Like All Lives Matter feel Black people are taking more priority over them. And even though All Lives Matter and One World, One People is good in sentiment, it does more harm than good. But I'm not done. Remember where Carly killed the black guy and said this?
I didn't mean to kill your friend. I don't want to hurt people that don't matter.
You don't think Lamar's life mattered?
Not to my fight.
This show.
There you go. There you go. Interesting, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would say that's a pretty good look at it. But I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I'd say that's half of a reach, but I definitely see how they kind of played into it a little bit like that. Like, I don't think the Flag Smashers represent all lives matter, but then
I can see that take.
Yeah. Because we didn't really exactly have a Black Lives Matter section in here. Yeah. It's interesting though, but it's I'd say it's a half reach like that. So.
Yeah, half reach.
But because I definitely I started thinking about it when he was like, "You don't think Lamar's life matter? Like, all lives matter,
yeah,
like not to my."
It fight. Sucks, man. I did have my issues with his character too a little bit. Not him as a character. As a character, I was interested. I was interested in him. It was the optics of his character. I felt like he was like the black sidekick to the white Captain America, kind of like that.
No, I think you have a good point. It kind of felt like he was supposed to be like the token,
friend, you know.
Yeah, but, like he was the token dude that was obviously gonna die or something like that.
Kind of like he was kind of like the
vehicle that was needed.
The vehicle for his storyline to drive him over the edge.
Correct.
Because he was borderline most of it. At first, he was just too positive, like, "Oh, come on, guys, we can work together. We got to do this." And then, it's like, "Well, yeah, this guy isn't going to become U.S. agent at any time, and he needs something to happen." So so we have to kill your best, your black best friend, so you can, which is fine. It could have been an Asian, could have been a white guy. So I've just felt like, but there was some points in the relationship where I did feel like that they were on even ground. Like you could tell that they were friends. So he didn't look down on him, in my opinion. I didn't feel like that he was like, "Oh, I'm here to bring you along."
like it was definitely kind of his rock, so to speak. I would
Yeah,
say, like,
yeah. I felt like he was the one that's keeping him in line.
yeah, and
Sort
then,
of
like
like,
there were times where you definitely saw like that Lamar was worried about John, and like Lamar knew that John was going through these PTSD situations and struggling with this role, and that's why he was also encouraging Sam, telling John to let Sam try to talk her down, because they all of them are basically going through it, with the exception of Sam.
yeah,
All of them were just kind of going through it. Bucky, John, Lamar, these are all veterans of like just having problems coping and dealing with things. And it was an interesting sort of situation that was not covered as much as the Punisher story, but then the Punisher had more breathing room to deal with. Season 2 of the Punisher. Wait, yeah, season 2. Yeah. But it was interesting that they kind of the way they dealt with sort of PTSD. So yeah.
that's true.
What is this? A random thought here. Just a random thought. Don't you think it's weird that Tony has these ultra improved suits, but the other Avengers had to wear some sort of leather or fabric? Yeah, well, who's paying for that though? Yeah. Like, the only thing that it was like, I think the one time Tony even did something was for Steve, and that was the shield situation. So that he could recall the shield, but there was also a point where it was like, okay, well, you don't want Tony controlling everything. There's a really interesting storyline where it was after Civil War or during Civil War in the comic books, where Tony makes Spider-Man or Peter a new costume, and I forgot what it was called. I think it was called the Iron Spider, maybe, but the colors are brown and gold. And they're like, wait, why are you using these colors? He's like, well, my design, my colors, like that. And it was like, people really were like, saying, well, this was just another way for Tony to kind of have control over the people he's working with. So I think that's another situation as to why.
Because if you see that from the Spider-Man movies, where he could control Peter's suit, even in the movie, he's like, "Can I have my suit back?" He's like, "No."
Yep, exactly.
I'll give it back. So I think it could be a similar situation where if he designs their suit, he's going to put some sort of technology in there, possibly that could result in him controlling them or preventing them or disabling their suit. So kind of like the whole Batman thing where he had a file on how to defeat everyone in the Justice League.
Well, and let's not forget, like, the Wakandans did the same damn thing. Bucky didn't know how to take that arm off.
But they did.
Ayo was like,
He's like, I didn't know they could do that.
Right. He looked hurt. He looked betrayed. He was like, what the hell? Like, oh my God, how could you? And War Machine is
got a contra code for my arm.
Right. He put the Konami code up in there, like up, down, left, right, like. But on top of that, it was like, War Machine is another example. It's like, all right, man, like, is this dude ever gonna get a new suit? Like, that meant his stuff got trashed hard, man. I think he did have one though in Endgame. If I remember correctly, I think Rhodey did have an improved.
Maybe.
I think he did. Like, it was like really quick. He was up in there for a second. He had a new suit in Endgame. I don't remember exactly what it looked like, but it looked bulkier, it looked bigger or whatever. So hopefully we keep seeing that kind of suit, what have you not. I don't know if in the Armor Wars that are coming up real soon, I don't think War Machine will ever go the same route that Tony did, where it's going to be like silky and everything, like really sleek nanotech style. It'd be nice. It'd be kind of nice if he did, but the whole idea is like he's supposed to be like this walking, movable tank type of deal.
Yeah.
So, Yeah. Oh my God! Don't remind me about the Iron Patriot suit. That was terrible. Like that was such a. Oh my! There's a few things I will never forgive. The MCU for Kevin Feige for, and ironically, two of them come out of Iron Man 3, and that was the Iron Patriot suit and the Mandarin twist. Like those two things were just ridiculously annoying, and it like and then the third one was the way they totally brutalized the Planet Hulk storyline into Thor Ragnarok. Some of the best moments in Marvel comics, and they turned it into like jokes basically. So
yeah, that would have made a dope movie.
What Planet Hulk?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, now they can't do it unless they really. There's only one way they can kind of do it, and it would have to be like a prequel sort of story.
Yeah, so kind of like Black Widow it.
Yeah, but if they don't, like, they better. But the problem is, there's already the expectation that it should be funny, and that's not what that storyline was all about.
Yeah.
So, if like, come on, Universal. I mean, actually, technically, Universal can only own the rights to distribute it now. They can't actually make it. So if Marvel really wants to, I would really like them to do it. It would be a very interesting storyline though, because you're not going to see Mark Ruffalo at most of the movie. It's going to be it's just going to be CG Ruffalo most of the time. I'd still be down. I honestly would still be down for them to do something like that. Maybe if they changed the name a little, I don't know. I don't know how they could completely do that entire storyline and have the same ending, because one of the things about Planet Hulk is that it sets up World War Hulk, and like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe a Hulk TV show, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be
kind of cool. I don't know if they could afford it, but yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Like,
I think that would be that would be very. Unless they can do like the 1980s,
right? They're gonna have to hire a big man. They're gonna have to. They literally are gonna have to hire the Mountain from Game of
I was
Thrones.
gonna say the Mountain.
Yep, they're gonna have to hire the Mountain and paint him all green and shit, and like have him walking around. Or they're just gonna have to do everything from the perspective of a shadowy Hulk image each time, you know. Oh my God,
they just have like a bunch of supporting character stories in there too,
right? That's a good point. They're doing that is true, they are doing a She-Hulk show, but I feel like they can get away, like you can digitize somebody with She-Hulk, because She-Hulk generally isn't that big of a person. I think, like, I don't know, I don't think no, she doesn't. Wait, does she? Wait, I guess part of her career she did the whole transformation thing, but I only really remember She-Hulk as a lawyer, and she was basically one and the same. It wasn't like two different people. She was just a green lawyer, a sexy green lawyer. Like that was it. I don't remember her doing the whole transformation thing so much. Yeah. But whatever. Now we're getting off topic, like on all this other stuff going on. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, this is IGN. I think this is IGN's review. Yeah, IGN gave it a 5 out of 10, which was interesting. Which I actually honestly, I think I kind of agree with that rating with that season finale. It was just like people were just like, "Oh my God, your reaction is such a buzzkill." I haven't actually gone back and seen it, and KR actually edited it for me because I was busy with Mortal Kombat. But I think when he first came through the window and they did that whole shot of him coming through the window, I think I was like, ugh. But my reaction, because the whole thing was half, like part of the upper part of his suit was kind of like folding up on him, and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's a little bulky. Okay, yeah,
like a kid's costume.
Yeah, kind of. I wouldn't go that far, but
not that far. But
it looked like, I wouldn't say it looked cheap. It just looked kind of weird. I was like, damn, this shit is like rolling up on his ass. Okay,
man.
like that. Yeah. So,
Yeah. But I get it because it was so many storylines in there, and they were trying to wrap them all up in one
Yep.
episode. Where some of these they could have, I don't know, either wrapped up or left it a mystery for a second season, like the whole power broker thing. Maybe we
that
didn't
was
have to know
so
who the power broker.
unnecessary. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we didn't
That
have
was
to know who the power broker
unnecessary.
was.
No, I agree. That was unnecessary.
Mm.
Like, if they were gonna go the power broker storyline, I don't really think they needed to really involve Carly as much with that power broker situation. Like
they could have just had her. So like, oh, it's you, kind of like, what are you doing here? And maybe not call her a power broker, but then just like have the question, like what are their connections, and then maybe like have that ending scene where she calls like, okay, well now I have like government secrets and enough for everyone. Then like, wait, is she the power broker? Where where it makes you question like,
no, you're right.
Yeah, I think
it probably would have. I mean, like it would have actually had more impact if if you want to talk about something really wild, it would have probably had more impact if Carly got shot up by the either by the police or by the military or something like that, like national security. Like if they like like if she legit like was like her and Sam were like Sam wasn't gonna fight her, and then she realized like everybody's getting caught up or whatever, and she's like goodbye Sam, and then runs out and like blah 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 blah, gets shot dead ass in the street, and then Sam goes up there like no, and then he gives it like that whole the thing with Sharon Carter was kind of like whatever, like
it kind of happened in a void away from cameras. I think but I feel like they were just trying to put a nice bow on the whole flag smashers or whatever storyline. They didn't want to have to deal with this later on in the future. So I get it. And that's why they kind of had whatever his name kill everyone in the truck. But I still feel like that it's going to be somewhere in the background. I don't think we're done with them yet.
The flag smashers or the
well their movement.
I don't know. I feel like they kind of put a cap on that. Like,
well, because the whole like police officer when he closes, he's like, "Oh, one world, one people." They're trying to so that they got sympathizers out there, so it's possible. But I don't think it's gonna. I think
that was the whole point of
it as an option. As an option.
I get what you're saying, but I think that was the whole point of like one of the points of Sam's speech was the fact that if you don't handle this situation now, if you don't acknowledge what these people were standing for, then you're going to have a whole nother problem later. You're creating a problem like that. And I felt like that was him putting kind of a lid on this entire movement, because I can't imagine them bringing this up again. Like, this entire I honestly don't know if the fans would really be interested in this story, like that storyline again.
I think it's done. Like it would have to,
it would have to. I can't imagine them like now the power broker situation. Like from what we're hearing, she's gonna be trading fucking national secrets and some other stuff like
secret technology.
Right. But honestly, I hope that only pays off if she's a Skrull or whatever, and maybe the person she was on the phone with was Emilia Clarke and shit, which so she was cast for Khaleesi was cast for the Secret Invasion storyline, so which is a whole nother thing. I wonder how they're gonna handle that, because I'm down with them creating a world like that, like personal. I don't, I'm very mixed back and forth, because I really love the Secret Invasion storyline, but and I would love to see it on the big screen. However, that's a storyline that would be too difficult to play off in the big screen, I feel. So it reminds me of the way the whole Hydra story, for me, the Captain America 2, the Winter Soldier, the Hydra story part, the internally, how Shield had Hydra agents, sleeper agents. It wasn't so impactful for me in the movie as it was watching Shield, the TV show. Like Shield actually became a better TV show after the Winter Soldier, like because every episode you're like, wait, who's Hydra? Who's not Hydra? Who's like, who can you tell? So Secret Invasion might have that same sort of feeling, but obviously I don't think they're really going to trick us with any legacy characters, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So so they're actually creating, they're going down the line right now, creating these the MCU Disney Plus world. I feel like that's what they're really trying to do right now, is create a Disney Plus world. So if somebody flips and you find out that they were a Skrull, it doesn't really mess up the previous 10 years. I feel they might take one or two people from the legacy line that don't have as much of a problem. Like, for example, if Thunderbolt Ross is a Skrull, it's like, oh shit. And then you want to go back and look at the movies and be like, oh wait, was he the whole reason the Sokovia Accords was because it was a Skrull action, it wasn't Ross himself. Like, that'd be kind of cool, but it wouldn't be like, they're not gonna like go back and be like, for example, Shuri or something like that was a Skrull, or like one of the main Dora Milaje was like a Skrull or something like that. Like, nah. Or M'Baku was a Skrull. No, but I think things like that, like Hayward in WandaVision, very possible that he could be a Skrull like that. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, Happy Hogan? No, he ain't gonna be a Skrull. Like, like that would be too complicated to figure out. But I think people in power, in my guess. So Secret Invasion will probably be the next big talkative show that everybody's going to be like thinking about. Like, everybody, like, that was the coolest thing about the Secret Invasion storyline, was that went on for many months and everybody was just like, wait, what the hell? Like, and then when you find out who the Queen is, it's like, what? Then that was really cool from the beginning. But I feel like we're getting, maybe Sharon is actually the Queen. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Sharon is actually the Queen. I'd be a little disappointed. But if Emilia Clarke is the Queen, that'd be interesting as well. I don't know. Ralph Boner, yep, he's a Skrull as well. Yeah, he better be. Yeah. All right. Anyways, let's take some calls here. Yeah.
All right.
Let's take some calls, and because I think we basically moved on from our thoughts of
pretty much.
of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. All right.
Yeah.
It was all right. Personally, for me, WandaVision was better. I enjoyed WandaVision a lot more, and there was more to talk about, and I think it was more relatable, honestly. But Falcon and Winter Soldier, for me, it had its moments. It definitely had its moments, and it was interesting, and it was good. It was a good throwback to reminding me how much I liked the other Captain America movies. But I think it kind of fell apart at the end. Here we go. Ronan, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, Akasan?
What's up, man?
Hey, Tyrone.
What's up?
I even no matter how you feel of which one was weaker or stronger, I think we are spoiled with these stories that they've been giving us over the past few months with the MCU. I'll say it, the Isaiah stuff that hit home, and I've known people like that before in my life. I know people like that at work, and I was just like, damn, that was good. That was a good treat. And Carl Lumley, God bless him for being like, yeah, I'll play him, why not? And that's weird that I didn't know about that comic book or that graphic novel.
Truth?
What's it called? Truth. Yeah. And it's weird. It was the same thing with Watchmen. The whole thing about Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm like, they never talked about that in history class. I'm like, why wasn't this talked about. And I like that when these films and these shows do that. I appreciate that. The little lesson of like, here's something that you didn't learn about in school, and perspective.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
And
Isaiah was definitely the highlight of the entire show. Like, that made the show. But so that was my thing, was like about the season finale was, when you can point out the two good moments or the two best moments of the show, and that's it. For me, that was it. That was it. It was like, okay, Isaiah, and it was one other thing that I really liked. But it was basically Isaiah and Bucky talking to the father of the son that he killed, and I think there was one other thing, but the overall the overall story was like, yeah, all right. Like, it wasn't go ahead.
I appreciated Walker with the decision to not chase Carly. I was like, whoa. I'm like, so there is good in him. It's just that you gotta work on that, man, because even that switch of like, where is she and all that stuff, I was like, all right, I can see that going. That's from the comics, but I'm like, all right, there is good in him. He's just gotta steer him in the a positive way. And I'm surprised that, I'll say this as a nitpick of mine, was that the senator that told Sam, you don't understand, it's complicated. I'm surprised Sam didn't say, hey, I gave you that shield to put in a museum. I didn't give you to throw it up as charity and whatnot. I'm like, what the hell was that all about?
Yeah, I hated that line. I was just like, yo, could you just retake that line? Because at first it sounded like he was patronizing him for you just don't he was like, you're just a black man. That's what that's the way I took it. I was like, when he said that, he was like, you just don't understand. Oh, because he's black. And then Sam came around and gave that bigger part of his speech. But I was like, damn, was that your best take on that show, on that edit there? But whatever. Yeah.
What's weird is that even if you didn't like that take, I've heard or hear still that in some news outlets. I hear some of that stuff talking. It's just like, good on the MCU to be like, for 6 hours, whether you think it wasn't strong or not, it's gonna put a big mirror on all of us right now, and be like, look at what you're doing. Is this the best you can do? And it's just like, whew.
Well, I got you.
And it's weird because I think the themes, and I like the whole thing about denial and depression with WandaVision. To me, it's weird that I felt the Falcon Winter Soldier stuff hit closer to home, at least for us, with what we were experiencing with over the past few years. And I mean, to be realistic, over the past years for a lot of people. But Wanda, we spent time with her. I remember the first 2 episodes of Falcon, I was just like, well, this writing is good. Damn, we're just on it. But I spent time with Wanda. I spent time when she gave birth to her children. She was happy. She was mad. She was sad. I'm like, that's a journey. You said it best, Akasan. That's a journey we would never have gotten in a film, maybe in a trilogy, but people would have looked back on that trilogy and be like, so that was the whole point of a whole trilogy with Wanda? She's just emotional? Like, she's just emotional? What the heck? These guys, the Avengers on paper therapy now? Like, what the?
White woman problems.
Oh, no.
White woman problems, the movie. Yeah, I get you. No, that's a good point. Here, actually, you just probed something in my mind right now. Do you think this show would have hit differently, for better or worse, if we were still in the Trump administration? Especially with that speech, especially with Sam's speech at the end. Like, Trump was, love him or hate him, Trump was a very big part of critiquing and calling out, or like talking about things that he probably shouldn't have been talking about, but he was always talking about stuff. And so in my mind, if Sam made a speech like that, even if Trump wasn't even president right now, if he was still on Twitter, I could imagine him saying something about that speech and being like, Falcon, what Sam said was unforgettable, blah, 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 like that. And if we were still under the Trump administration, do you think this show would have hit a lot differently?
Wow.
Right?
Ooh, I wonder how much, because I don't know about you guys. You guys probably get more activity than I do on Twitter and social media. But for the most part, from what I got out of this during the current state that we are, at least in the U.S., people were like, yes, finally we're hearing the stuff that we want to see, and then who knows how much people, on the other side of the, the spectrum or just the field, people be like, what the hell? This is not my, except for that one guy that you pointed out, Akasan. It's just, it's fascinating. It'll be
America
interesting.
Thanks you for your service. Yeah.
Yeah, which even when we talked about it, I was like, I don't know about that. I felt bad for the way Walker was doing. Like, I don't know about that.
Right.
It'll be interesting. I'll say this because I don't have, not that I don't have, but I don't have that much info to put in. But it'll be interesting looking back in history where it's just like, and I've always heard this from my professors with theater and film, that timing is everything when it comes to releases. Some stuff might not hit hard now, but sometimes does, and be like, Sam getting pulled over by the cops. That hit home. Hit home. That might not hit home for like everyone, but for the majority of us right now that are feeling these emotions, that hit home.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Tyrone?
Yeah, I agree. I think the whole like him and Bucky were arguing, and then they immediately assumed he was the aggressor, or he was in danger, and they were trying to protect Bucky, even though Bucky's like much bigger and probably much stronger than Sam is. If you look at stature, he seems like he's a bigger man who's really in danger, but they're saying, he's gonna hurt this guy. We have to protect him, and they didn't even address Bucky during that whole interaction. They were ignoring him. It's like, whoa, come. It's like, sir, we got this.
That was a weird.
And then he's like, hey, by the way, hey, he's one of the good black people. Like, and then all of a sudden it's like, you're not like the other. Yeah, trust me.
Right. You're one of the good ones. Yeah. Okay. That was another weird take too. Like, and when I say take, what I'm talking about from the acting side of things is like, everybody was really, so I keep on saying, like, so people keep on, just to clarify, I'm not saying the position on what they were saying. What they were saying was fine. What I'm saying when I say take, I'm talking about that take one, take two. Like, when that white dude did, the delivery, I was like, well, you just don't understand. I'm like, wait, that sounded so unnatural in terms of like it took me out of place. And then when Sam was getting pulled over, one of the police officers, he did a very similar. It was a very unnatural, "Are you okay, sir?" I'm like, ugh, like that. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me watching way too much TV, but I just felt like certain times I was like, who is directing this? Like they didn't have a better take on that to use.
They probably didn't. They probably didn't, honestly.
Maybe they rushed it.
They're probably like, look, you're only going to get a couple of takes with this because you're not a star. You're not the main.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm not going to waste so much time on you. Yeah,
you're right. I mean, fun fact: Cillian Murphy, who was in The Dark Knight Rises and The Dark Knight. I'm sorry, Batman Begins. Actually, he was in The Dark Knight as well. This dude they have to shoot like about 20 times for him, a lot of times. The courtroom scene where he at the end of The Dark Knight Rises, where he's guilty without blah blah blah, it took him like 20 to 25 times to get that take. Yeah. My friend, you can actually see my friend's arm in the jail when Catwoman is getting arrested. My friend Jonathan Bell, who plays Superman on Twitter and such and Instagram, Black Superman, he is in jail. And Nolan was working with him, and so he was also part of the courtroom scene, and he told me like it took him like 25 times to get that take of what we saw. Yeah. Like it's something like he's particularly one of those actors where it takes a while to get the right to
hit the line.
Right. Yeah. It's very interesting. Yeah,
it's fascinating because even with those lines, like you were saying, Akasan, that you're still watching The Flash, but God bless you, Akasan. God bless you for watching that show. I love those cast members, but I after season 1, I was like, I'm good. I am good. Wow. That speech with Sam, it hit. It is good, and maybe you've heard that type of speech too many times, but it was like reading a comic book and be like, whoa, are they just talking about the stuff that I'm seeing on the news? So it'll be interesting when that speech of how far it hits between not corny, but like we've heard this multiple times on other different shows.
Yeah.
What's the difference between now and the perspective that it provides or it receives from the viewers?
Yeah, I agree with you. I just wish they shot that a little bit differently. I wish he I wish he took off the mask at that point, because like I compare it to the Winter Soldier, where Steve is giving his speech
Price of
to
Freedom.
everybody.
Yeah.
About freedom, and if to my memory, he doesn't have the mask on either. So whenever they I just felt like if he's gonna make such an important speech, you don't need to be wearing these googly ass things and that white outfit that's so sticking out. I'm like, come on, man, pull a Batman or whatever and just cut away, and it just shows him like, look, he's like, and for me, actually, I feel like that would have been even more interesting is the fact that he's like, don't understand, takes off, nigga, I'm a black man wearing this or something like that, like to really expose him. He just looked kind of goofy with that.
I get it, yeah.
But he looks like he's like googly eyes. I'm just like, come on now. Like, I would say the same thing if they had Peter Parker giving some sort of speech, or if they had Spider-Man giving some sort of speech in the next movie or something, and like he's trying to get all of his other Spider friends together to go fight in the next movie, and you know. Like there's something, it just looks funny, like it looks good in the comics because you have multiple angles, but I'm just saying, like, there's certain lines that you just look funny when you're wearing a costume. That's all.
I just it's the same thing, because I would go back after the episode ended. I went back to when Steve gives Sam the shield. He's like, try it on. It's emotional just thinking about that, because it's like,
that's a great show. I mean, and you notice nobody's wearing a costume, and that's why it works, in my opinion. That's why those scenes work so well, because it's like it's just two humans. It's a human sort of situation, but the only one that's wearing this bright ass costume in the middle of the street giving a speech, and I'm like supposed to take that seriously. It's just like, all right, I don't know about that. And then you got the two white dudes on the side, like, yeah, he's fucking right, man. Yeah.
John's like, damn.
Walker. Yeah, John Walker just killed a man like the previous 2 episodes back, and he's going through shit. And he's just like, yeah, you get him, you tell him, Sam. Like, I'm just like, all right. Whatever.
So where does this lead the new Cap movie? Where do you guys think this is going? Because it's like, I would imagine that it's like, all right, we got to get the Avengers team rebuilding in, or it's like we still got to make sure everyone gets their TV show set up and get their emotions out of the way.
I don't know. I hopefully it leads to a better suit, a better budget. Kevin Feige, listen to my words. Trust me. That like, I hope that suit gets destroyed. Like Sam gets his ass whooped by a real ass villain, not them flag smashers like this dude, and that suit gets disintegrated, and he's got to run to Wakanda or something. I hope Bucky shows up as the White Wolf instead.
Nice.
And he gets himself a real nanotech costume as well, instead of walking around in that leather jacket half the time. So he acting like he's Negan and shit.
Actually, you kind of made me think of a problem. I did have, not a problem, but a concern I have with the show was so they're fighting these flag smashers, right? So they took the super soldier serum, but where did they learn how to fight? Bucky's been fighting for years. Sam's been fighting. So how are they getting their butt kicked by teenagers who haven't had any training? So where did they learn to fight? I
think they were all semi military, not military, but like kind of like not special
Academy?
ops either.
Right.
I think they were like academy type people, and
were they?
I think they roughly mentioned the fact that they were pulled. Zemo, the guy that Zemo killed, mentioned that these guys were recruited through different ops and different military coups and things like that. I think.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, like, because they're essentially just kids. They're very teenagers. Like, I guess Carly was supposed to be a teenager, so I guess they're child soldiers. I don't know.
Oh, okay, there you go. They were trained by Sharon. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
fair enough. Okay, fair
There you
enough.
go.
Yeah. Okay, I get
She
it.
had
Yeah.
moves. Yeah.
She has,
All right.
she has moves.
Oops. Okay. All right, Ronan. Appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you guys. Take
Yeah,
care.
appreciate it. All
Yeah,
right.
take care,
See you
you
on the
too.
next one. Later, man.
See ya.
All right. So we have we got a shoe, Magano, DC fanboy, and then J King. All right,
All
Ashu,
right.
what's up, man?
What's up?
What's up, guys? How are you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing good,
Pretty
man. How did you like?
Um,
How did you like Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I actually kind of liked it. I kind of wish there were be more episodes, but considering the pandemic, they had to finish everything quickly before everything got shut down. So I understand that.
Mm.
I honestly really, really liked the show. I thought it started off great with that nice opening action scene in the first episode, and this one was like a very like nice, sweet finale. I get it's not what a lot of people like, but I don't know. I just felt good like watching that whole situation in that finale, and I also really like the speech at the end with what Sam was wearing. Sam was saying, and that suit. I personally liked it. Did kind of feel off at some points, but overall I just thought the suit was really good. John Walker to me just felt like a prick. I hated
Yeah.
him in that.
Really?
I don't know. It's like what you say, those takes. Like there were like some takes on that, like, God, you are such a jerk. Like that one.
But wouldn't you say? But wouldn't you say that's exactly what they were aiming for? That was the whole
Yeah,
point. Like he
yeah,
was a
that was the whole
bully.
point.
Like this
Yeah,
dude was was power tripping before he got that
Mm.
soldier cert, and he felt like an inferiority complex, and so
Right.
always trying to prove himself. I thought, if anything, he was probably the one that had like never failed. Like his lines never failed.
mm,
Like he was such a phenomenal Russell. He was such a phenomenal actor in the way, like almost everything he said, you understood it had a point. He never had like a wasted scene. That's the way I felt about
yeah,
it.
yeah. Like I'm not saying that he didn't do a bad job. He did a great job playing the character that he played, and that's why I hated him because he did such a
Yeah,
phenomenal job. Why
Yes.
yeah,
Russell, son
Mm.
of Kurt Russell,
Mm.
he did such a great job with that character.
Mm.
I just thought that there were like moments in there that were like, God, I don't like him. And he was the one that like caused his friend to get killed. If he didn't go into that building and
yep,
Yeah.
listen to what Sam said, his friend wouldn't have gotten killed, and uh, Carly would have already gone with them. So those like certain moments in there
Mm.
is like things that I see that like his actions cause these consequences to happen. His friend dies, he goes berserk. Captain America is known as a killer in worldwide media with that shield being blood. So
Yeah.
I see those things and I'm like, his actions create those consequences, all that. But overall, I just really love the show. Carl Bunley, man, you gotta give that guy props. Like I feel like he can do whatever role he is given to and give
who are you talking
Carl,
about?
Carl Bunley. He plays
Who did?
Isaiah Bradley.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
Uh,
like he
yeah,
just did such a phenomenal job. I just loved him
yeah,
as
he was great.
Isaiah
Yeah, he was.
Bradley.
Yeah, he was
But
really
like
good.
my question to you guys is, and I know this is like maybe like a very touchy subject and probably like off topic to the show. Do you guys think that we should have like more diverse superheroes like in MCU? Like we have Internals, we have like Black Panther and all that, but do you guys think we should have maybe like a diverse Iron Man, maybe a different Hulk that's played by a different diverse character? And this is also going to like the DC EU also. Do you think we should have more diversity in the actors that play these characters?
Tyrone, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it. I think it's cool because we have like the what is it? There's like a black female Iron Man, right?
Right.
We have oh, what is her name? Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, so she's awesome. So yeah, I think that it does. I think that it does add value to the MCU if we had diverse versions of these characters. Yeah, thank you, Riri Williams. Yeah, so I think that it's a good thing. Now, I wouldn't say like if we were to, I don't know how to word it. Like I wouldn't
Race swap,
agree with, huh?
race
Yeah, swap.
swapping.
Yeah. Kind of like just totally like swapping out a character, or if it's a character that's already established, like to have them be like this person, and suddenly it becomes like a whole nother race or a whole
Right.
nother person without at least getting rid of that character. Like give them like their own name. Like don't make like don't have like the same name but be a different race. Just make it a whole nother character. So that's
Right. I wouldn't
yeah,
say
like you wouldn't make like a black Tony Stark or an Asian Tony Stark or like a Hispanic Tony Stark. Just make it, a whole nother character. But
yeah, I think it kind of goes twofold. Like like with DC, so that's one of the things DC is having the biggest problem with right now is the fact that they're trying to make things diverse, but when they do it, they just straight race swap somebody, and it's like, wait, what? And so people get like legit mad about it sometimes. Where Marvel has the benefit of they played the game for a long time and they slowly introduced people. So for example, the Patriot, Isaiah's nephew, by the time he shows up in the MCU, some people are going to be like, oh my God, what is this diversity? But I'm like, yo, 10-15 years ago he showed up. Like this is in the comics, so this has been done. Riri is a whole nother thing that she's been in the comics. It's been already like 5 years or so since she's been around. So Miles Morales, all these characters that you're talking about right now, Marvel has already established them in the comics to begin with. Now I wouldn't but when in terms of replacing the legacy characters, I don't want another Iron Man. I don't think we need another Iron Man right now. His legacy is kind of there. This Captain America title thing, like, to be honest, I'm not 100% like, I'm not super excited to see Sam as Captain America, but even in the comics I was never like that big of a fan of him being Captain America. Like for me, it's more or less, it makes more sense if Bucky, comic wise, it made more sense that Bucky was took over as Captain America when it had him with a gun going around. I'm like, all right, super soldier, that's the image I see. So for Sam being Captain America, I'm fine with it, but it doesn't really make me as excited. It's the same thing as like if Batman suddenly became Superman. Without that strength, it doesn't exactly work the same way for me, because it feels like you're always going to be suffering a lot more. You're always going to be, you can't do exactly the same thing, and you're never going to be like on that same level of strength and agility as a super soldier like that. So for me, Captain America generally matches with super soldier serum like that, but I'm fine with his run. I'm still kind of interested to see it. I'm not necessarily excited about it, but like all these other, like another Hulk or whatever, like, nah, like you got to be very careful, because especially with legacy characters, it's better to like keep it as we know of them like that. So I don't have a problem with them including more diversity, but it needs to make sure that it's all inclusive to everyone at the same time. The whole point about diversity is that it doesn't go fully on one side type of deal. So even this thing about having the gay Captain America, or like I think they were introducing something with like a trans Captain America, things like that. I don't know what it was. It was like something, I saw an article the other day and it showed like this Captain America in overalls and like a wife beater, and people were like, what is going on here? But Yeah, it all depends in context. As long as the story provides itself, Miles Morales was probably one of the best examples. Was when he was first introduced, people freaking lost their minds at this, a black Spider-Man. But the thing about it, in its context, that Peter Parker of that universe was dead. So somebody was going to take over eventually. So the Miles thing worked out really well in the end. But I remember people were losing their damn minds when that happened back then. It's very interesting. I mean, but people lose their minds anytime legacy characters are established. Dan Slott talks about it all the time. He introduced, he killed Peter Parker, and Doc Ock became Spider-Man for literally a year. And it was like people were lost their damn minds and still try to blame him for the downfall of Spider-Man. It's just like, okay, whatever. So yeah, anyways, good question. I appreciate it, Ashu.
Thank you guys so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Yes. Take care. Real quick before we move on to Magano, Grace Randolph. Oh boy. Grace Randolph.
The 1960s. This makes a very strong impression on me.
Oh my God. Grace Randolph has something to say about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Oh boy. This is gonna be funny. All right, so let me just read what she says first. Best moments in Sam's speech. Everyone, wow, wait, what? She really had to break down the speech. Everyone should have a seat at the what? The I already know this is going to be a wild ass take, man. Everyone should have a seat at the table, making decisions that affect them. Positive voices for working together for change. Some people will never accept him as Captain America. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Let's see what she has to say. Oh fuck.
The 1960s. This makes a very strong impression on me.
Yeah, she's been alive since then.
Talked about a lot today with people of color, but if you go back to the 1960s, this makes a very strong impression on me because my mother is a brunette to the point of looking like she has black hair. And growing up in the 1960s, she was painfully aware that everyone preferred blondes. Talked about a lot today with people of color.
What?
If you go back to the 1960s, this makes a very strong impression on me because my mother is a brunette to the point of looking like she has black hair. And growing up in the 1960s, she was painfully aware that everyone preferred blondes. Talked about a lot today with people of color, but if you go back to the 1960s, this makes a very strong impression on me because my mother is a brunette to the point of looking like she has black hair. And growing up in the 1960s, she was painfully aware that everyone preferred blondes.
What is this? What is this?
Wait, no. So she essentially equivalated being a black man
to having black hair.
Wow. Wow.
Wait, what? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So she.
I know.
Wow. So she legit compared the struggles of being.
Oh God.
She legit compared the struggles of being a black man in the 1960s to being a blonde.
My mom had trouble getting men. No one thought she was pretty
because everybody preferred. Wait,
talked about a lot today with people of color, but if you go back to the 1960s, this makes a very strong impression on me because my mother is a brunette to the point of looking like she has black hair. And
so she said her mom was essentially a black person. That's what she's trying to say. She's comparing it that way. Wow.
Growing up in the 1960s, she was painfully aware that everyone preferred blondes.
She was painfully aware that everyone. Oh, Grace Randolph. That's Grace. Like even Dan, I was just talking about it. Dan Slott. He was just like, oh dear God. This dude, man. Oh my God, Dan Slott. If you guys don't know, Dan we talk a lot. He actually got really mad at me one time during WandaVision, but we worked it out. But he's an editor for Spider-Man, or I don't know if he still does it, but yeah, he used to write Spider-Man, some of the Spider-Man's best work. So, anyways, oh my god, that was hella funny, man. She's a great movie reviewer. What? Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah. Oh my god. All right, let's keep going. That was funny. Hey, Magano, what's up?
Can you guys hear me right?
Yeah, we can hear you fine, man.
All right, cool. So, this show, I was more hyped for this originally for like back in its original schedule before WandaVision came out, was when it was supposed to come out originally. So I was really hyped for it ever since then. But and the show, like, I'd say rating wise, I think WandaVision was better, slightly better. Mainly because of the finale of this show.
Yeah.
It just, as you probably already know, Akasan, like, it wasn't really what I was hoping for. Like,
right, WandaVision, the ending.
No, Falcon Winter Soldier.
Oh, it wasn't what you were. What were you expecting? What were you looking for?
Saying Falcon, right? Not
really?
Yeah. And going back to what you guys were talking about with Ashu in terms of like legacy characters and diversity. For me personally, and like in terms of like even race swapping too, because there was a lot of that in the MCU in general. Because for example, notice Black Panther, besides Black Panther, the Wakandans, Killmonger, Falcon was the only original black character in the MCU.
Okay.
Every other person was either a legacy character, and I don't even count freaking War Machine, because I just see him as Black Iron Man, basically, because it's like he has Stark's tech, like you were talking about earlier too, and it's like he didn't. I don't know how did he get his new suit? You know what I mean? Like an Endgame and stuff. It's like, did Tony make it, or he had to have, right? You know.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Okay.
So.
Sorry, wait. Yeah, where are you going with this? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I gotta hold on, retrace my thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of this finale, right?
Yeah.
It really was disappointing how they completely shat on the Falcon name through the entire episode. Like, they called him Black Falcon, they called him Captain Falcon, they called him everything but Falcon in this episode, right? And that to me was a problem, considering that Falcon is an original black character. Now he's just this legacy character now. And it's just like, why wasn't him as Falcon good enough to lead the Avengers? Why did he have to be Captain America in order to do that?
That's an interesting thought, actually. Yeah. That's an interesting.
And I feel like this is gonna, in the future, this is going to be kind of like a trend that's going to be happening here. Like, you're going to be seeing more of these legacy characters, legacies of white superheroes, you know, being, let's say, a Black Spider-Man or a Black Iron Woman, you know, in terms of Riri Williams. But it's just like, why does it have to be, you know, like even with Miles Morales, like we mentioned the fact that Peter Parker died on his universe before he took up the mantle. But if you notice in, like, for example, the movie Into the Spider-Verse, that's really all I know in terms of like Spider-Verse, multiverse type shit, just the movie. Notice how he was the only Spider-Man in that movie that was a legacy character.
But wait, he was the only Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Who are you talking about?
That movie.
Miles Morales.
Else, yeah, Miles Morales was the only one.
Miles Morales was the only legacy. Well, I wouldn't even, but I honestly wouldn't consider Miles Morales a legacy character though.
But he was, in the sense that he took the mantle of Peter Parker, because Peter Parker was in his universe and in another, but the Peter Parker in his universe died, so he took up the mantle. So because of that, he is a legacy character.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
The name is still Spider-Man. Like, and this is the same argument with Falcon too. Like, why is the name Captain America? Because even if he like, because I get the whole messaging in terms of like him being the symbol of America, but why didn't he have like a name change? You know, an original name, just to have some sort of originality like kept in. You know what I mean? Having his own name. Like,
yeah, okay.
me personally,
I kind of get. Yeah. So you're
since he
so
still has his
you're-
wings, for example.
Right.
Why couldn't it be called like the American Eagle? That'd be my name. To me, that's a perfect name for him.
Kind of dope,
like,
actually.
It still has America in it, and you know, instead of the Falcon, he's an eagle because you know the bald eagle's the symbol of the bird.
American Falcon or something like that. Yeah, that actually kind of
cool.
like
It's a creative way of doing it to me. So it's just like, why didn't they do that? You know.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. Like, I'll come. It's comparative to. It's comparative to Batman. I think Batman is the best example. Every time they try to swap out Batman or whatever, Dick Grayson takes over, Damian takes over. Somebody needs to carry the mantle of the Batman because of the fact that Batman is a symbol. It's something that, like, if somebody's like, oh fuck it, it's like, but what I'm saying is like, look, there's a huge difference if somebody's like, holy shit, the Batman's coming. Oh my God, Nightwing's coming. like it's something like that.
That's the issue though, right? It's like,
well, it's
nobody.
But
I'm
that's
gonna give you another example here because like nobody knew who Captain America was like before he was in the movies. Like not really, right? I mean, you know, except for like comic book fans and maybe people who've played him in like video games. Like Ultimate Alliance is how I found out about him because that game came out in 2006. But it's like,
well,
these were characters that weren't known to the general public.
No, I would disagree with that.
I would disagree.
I'm
going in a different route here.
Okay.
In terms of like original characters, there's no excuse for not like making them, because there's black original characters in the comics that they could be making popular right now, just like they have with previous heroes that weren't known to the public. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, for instance, which nobody knew about. So I don't see why they have to take original black characters and make them into this legacy character to give them some sort of importance or popularity or something. Because it's like Falcon was fine as Falcon.
Okay.
And I don't think he gets enough credit. Even in the show solidified that. Like they were disrespecting him left and right with his name. Like the white folks were like, "Oh, yo, Mr. Wilson, oh, I didn't recognize you without your goggles or whatever." And the black folks just called him Black Falcon the whole time. Like every time he went to Baltimore, Maryland, or even just the fucking bystander in the finale called him Black Falcon. And it's just like, where's the respect for an Avenger, right?
So, right. Here's on the marketing side, the business side. Now I'm not talking about the universe. I'm just talking about the Marvel side. The answer for that is basically money and recognition.
It's lazy though. It's
but
like
hold on. I'm giving you the answer because this is the thing. The name Captain America will always sell more than Falcon. At this moment in time, the symbol of the even behind me is synonymous with Captain America. You know, that's something that is always going to sell more. Now, story-wise, you asked me, you know, why couldn't Falcon lead the Avengers? I agree with you, but the thing is, it goes back to my Batman situation, or there's something that there should always be a something. There should always be a Lannister. No, not a Lannister. There should always be a Stark at Stark Castle or something like that, right? Game of Thrones line is there should always be a Captain America leading the Avengers. There should always be a Captain America in the Avengers. That's kind of just that. That's the thing. Like in some sense, you know, they kind
has that really always been the case, even in the comics? Has it been Captain America leading the Avengers, or has it been others?
Not always leading, but there's always been a Captain America around. Yes,
I'm sure it's been around, but in terms of like the Avengers, like in every iteration, it's been Captain America.
Not always leading, but he's always been in the group in some form or fashion, or dead, and they mention him sometimes or whatever. Even with the Young Avengers, there was the Patriot. So there's always like that's the joke we were making when the first Avengers movie came out, was the fact that nobody really cares about Captain America, but we gotta have him in here because it's Avengers, like that. It's the same thing as
that grew over time though. It's like well, popularity wise anyway, because like I know a lot of people didn't
Right,
like the
but
first
that's the
Avenger.
point was, but that was the whole point was we still needed to have him in there, in the first Avengers movie, even though at that point nobody really cared about him until, like, I would say for me personally, Age of Ultron, it got like better for me. But anyways, that's kind of like I get where you're coming from. You make a very good point. Is like Falcon should be able to stand on his own, but you know, at the same time, you know. But at the same time, I'm gonna say, like, you know, just like all things comics, things will eventually return back to the status quo anyways. You heard stories about Steve. Chris Evans is signed on for a side story of him coming back in some form or fashion. There's Captain America 4. I'm sure a lot of this is going to be addressed in time. So like I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's the same thing as like She-Thor. Well,
yeah,
you know,
I'm not for that either, but and it's like that's not even a mantle, that's his name, so why is she called Thor? You know, why they call Thor as Jane Foster?
They explain it, but even when that was going on in the comics, I'm like, look, guys, it's like they're trying it out. It's just something. It's a story, and then eventually we're going to return back to the status quo as we always do. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But you do make a very interesting point.
It's just that in terms of like, because I'm sticking with like Black characters and diversity. It's just a shitty way of doing it to me. Like when you have original Black characters, and instead of they're not good enough, you just change them to some white man's legacy or white chick's legacy in the sense of what Carol Danvers, you know,
I get it.
Her Ms. Marvel or whatever is just like her fangirl or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's just that frustrates me, and it's like they could be doing so much better, but they choose not to because of business or money or whatever. But it's just like you didn't do that at first when you didn't have any of these characters established in like the crossover movie in the first Avengers movie.
I think you and Isaiah would get along really well.
Yeah.
You guys can discuss this over some lemonade in his porch while he's gardening and everything. So. But all right. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys have a good night.
All right.
too,
Later,
man.
Yeah. You'd be the same dude up there, like they will never let a Black. He makes it, but he makes a really good point about that. It's it is something to keep in mind of why they do sort of, and we talk about that, but you know, that's a very tricky situation because eventually, what will happen with the status quo? Are we going back to the status quo? Like in the comics, like for me, again, I prefer Falcon as Falcon. Like I like seeing him. Like I never was interested in him being Captain America, but it's interesting that they needed somebody to continue the legacy. But see, an interesting thought process is the fact that if Bucky ended up being Captain America, I don't think we would be having this conversation either. Like if Bucky took on the mantle and became Captain America, we would not be having the same conversation about, but you know, I do feel like this puts Falcon and Sam's character into the forefront and makes them even more popular. So, but something else I'll point out really quick is that I do feel like Magano mentioned that he feels like it's erasing his legacy, or erasing his character of the Falcon, but the dude literally still has his wings. It's just it's red, white, and blue. Like the dude is still flying around. Like it's pretty obvious that he's still Falcon. Like he is a Falcon. But I kind of also agree about the American Eagle.
It's kind of dope, actually.
Right? Yeah. The American Hawk or some shit.
Yeah,
like
or something.
That.
Yeah. But it's like I don't think it like necessarily like erases his legacy. I think it just it expands it or it extends it or continues it. I don't want to say evolves, but it evolves it. Not saying it makes it better, it just makes it different, you know. So he's evolving, you know, he's becoming more. I'm just
Yeah,
curious. Like,
like it's really hard because the comic book part of me is just like,
Hmm.
yo, just enjoy it. Like I bring up Dan Slott again when they killed Peter Parker. They legit killed this dude, and Doc Ock took over for like a whole year. For me, that was one of the best runs. But in the back of my mind, honestly, I always knew that this was never going to be permanent.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. DC fanboy, what's up, man?
Your mic's off.
Yeah, he probably went somewhere real quick.
Okay.
Give him 10 more seconds. And then here you guys, if you guys want to join in. Here's the link for you guys to join in. DC fanboy going once, going twice. All right, we're gonna come back to you, DC fanboy, in just a bit. Just text us if you're. Oh, is he here?
He's here.
Hello, DC fanboy. Okay, he unmuted his mic. But okay. All right, DC fanboy, give us a call back. All right, Mike.
How you guys doing?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Doing good, doing good. Yeah, just commenting on the show. I like the way it ended. However, I did feel some sentiments how some things kind of felt lackluster at the second half of the episode, particularly with John Walker's character. So basically, are you telling the audience that we're supposed to like him now? I mean, because, and also there's another thing too. Everyone had to argue with my roommates about this. John Walker is not freaking Homelander. Okay, he's not Homelander. He's not this like bad or angry versions of like where he's like just outright killing people. Yeah, he killed the dude, but it was out of the fact that he killed his partner, and at that moment of rage being pushed over the edge so many times to the point which in the comics he's a great character, which I felt they portrayed good in the episode, was episode 4 and episode 5. But then like, and then this episode they were like, okay, he had to try to get his revenge on Carly and stuff, but then at the end, he get into the U.S. agent stuff. It's like, all right, thanks, Val. Cool, I'm back. Yeah, and then
back, yeah.
It's like that's it. But even then, there was even when Falcon was giving his speech, he talked about how I know how everybody doesn't like me, wearing this shield and stuff like that. And they have a quick cut to John Walker, and I was like, that was powerful. But I just feel like they kind of lackluster in that. But in terms of going to the person, I understand that the person before, I understand that they were having like two different types of conversations, but I understand his frustration. Like, yeah, I want black characters to have the same originality as white characters, but if I have to ask, my top favorite black characters are technically legacy characters. If you get like Miles Morales or Jon Stewart Green Lantern, or like but at the same time, they are attached to main titles. And I'm like, because like you have other characters like Vixen. There's not no white Vixen before, no African American Vixen. She's just Vixen, but is she as popular as other characters or stuff like that? Like no. But I understand where he's coming from. But in terms of the future, like in terms of the future of like what I think they're going to do, I feel like I like how they're positioning Sam in terms of his character development. But I don't think that in terms of when again to Captain America 4, I'm thinking it was important to give him a movie. But this is why I also think if they're doing this, I think they might give the same treatment they might do with Tom Holland Spider-Man, that whenever they introduce Miles, whatever like that, I don't think it's going to be in the third Spider-Man movie, because I think it's already chaotic, in terms of what they're condensing in there. But I think that because now we have Thor 4, but they're bringing in Jane Foster. And now the difference between that is not like you have Jane by herself being Thor, like you have Thor in there as well. So having this Captain America 4 is going to be different because Steve is not going to be around. At least as of right now, we don't know. So I think that it might give him legs, obviously at the base of this foundation of this show, to at least see he can stand as the leader of the Avengers, which I think he can. But I think that hopefully in the MCU they can sell us that if he have this standalone movie,
Well, here's an interesting argument, because so Magano brought it up, and then you're kind of jumping on it about this legacy situation. Though, does a secondary character, or does the predecessor? Yeah, does the predecessor
Protege.
not Thank you. The protege, or no, the successor. Does the successor of a legacy title mean that they become the legacy character? I would disagree. Miles Morales is not. I don't think Miles Morales is a legacy character. He might have taken on the title, but people will still see him like it. As far as I remember, people didn't see him ever. The people didn't see him as replacing Spider-Man. People saw him as another Spider-Man because everybody, the entire world saw Peter Parker get fucking die in the comics and in the animated version. So I think the entire world knew he was a new Spider-Man. So I've never considered Miles Morales to be a legacy character like that.
Right, and I agree with you, and I think that narrative is being changed because to me, I always view Miles Morales as the way I view, John Stewart Green Lantern, because I watch like John Campea or other people like shows and say like, hey, there's only one Green Lantern, that's Hal Jordan. There's only one Flash. Your Flash might be Wally West, but Flash is Barry Allen. To me, I don't agree with that. To my opinion, I'm like, yeah, you're right, exactly. Your addition, because like I'm asking even some white kids, like some of my friends, like their little brother and little sisters, like, hey, who's your favorite Spider-Man? Oh, who's your Spider-Man? Miles. And I'm like really? And it's like the first thing is Miles. These are not black kids, so that narrative is being changed. Like, but now I don't think that in terms of that saying the legacy thing. I think with Falcon. I think he made a good point with the American Eagle thing. I never even thought about that, but that was but I'm thinking that. Because in the difference between him, like one, he also does have no serum and he has the wings and stuff. But then I guess you can ask that question: is what's the Hispanic dude that got Falcon? Torres. So like, is he a legacy person? Because technically he gave him his wings and he's called Falcon, but then yet Falcon is Captain America, but he still has the wings.
So and that's the argument I'm saying. Exactly. It's like you don't call like you would like Batman for example, Nightwing, Dick Grayson being Batman does not mean he's a legacy character.
Right.
Damian as Batman in the future, I wouldn't consider him a legacy character. Like I generally think it's the person. Like to my understanding, my understanding is the fact of whoever started it first, whoever was the original person, or whoever. I wouldn't even, you know what? Actually, I take that back. It's not even that. It's whoever made it the whoever made it the most famous and most recognizable that it is today. Because, for example, I want to say not Rogue, but I don't know. There's an X-Men or actually maybe Miss Marvel. Captain Marvel. It might be Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel who Rogue had a big issue with, and it wasn't Danvers. Right, Carol. Okay, so maybe Carol Danvers would be considered the legacy character, but she's not technically the first Captain Marvel. So
right.
So not everybody knows about the original Captain Marvel like that. So even Spider Woman or Jessica Drew. I don't think she's the first Spider Woman either. So she's the most recognizable and probably the most legacy one. So I think that's something else to also consider as well. So
yeah, I think also even I think this discussion is actually going to be
Psylocke's a good example too. Yeah, actually, Psylocke would, because fucking the only Psylocke that I personally recognize is the sexy Asian one. So
right, because like as a kid, I was sold that Wally West was my Flash. I didn't know who Barry Allen was until like later. I'm looking at him like, oh, okay, there's Barry Allen there. But at the time, watching Justice League Unlimited, Wally West been Flash for 20 years. So it just. Yeah. So it's just like I think that narrative can be changed.
That's it. That's very interesting. Yeah, actually, because for me, the most recognizable Flash for me is Wally West, but I recognize Barry Allen as the Flash, where technically
Wally's faster.
No, but not even that. Technically, it's the old dude,
Jay Garrett.
Thank you. Jay Garrett is technically the original Flash, so it's weird how that works. Yeah, wow. I don't know, but interesting points.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to make a point about Carly. Sure. She was getting on my damn nerves for like the last I want to say 3 episodes because she started devolving. And listen, I'm gonna say this, like Carly, like I'm not gonna be like Falcon where you like, Carly, stop. I only gotta tell her one time to give her a stop, and I'll give you that Captain Falcon punch, with the shield and full throttle. And I'm like, nah, I'm done because you wasting my time and you killing folks. But yeah,
that was a very missed opportunity to not. We didn't have a Falcon punch there, so that would have been perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Well, all right, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
thanks for calling in.
Take care.
Take care.
How you doing, Tyrone? You all right?
Oh yeah. Wow.
No, just making sure you're, because usually I get about 2 hours and that's about it. So
yeah, I might have to leave in a little bit because I have something being delivered.
Okay. So just a moment. All right, here we go. Next is Jay King. Sipping on Granny's peach tea there. Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, that's all good.
Can't go without these.
Yeah, it's all good.
Can't go without these. Okay, so real quick before I talk about the finale part, I guess since we're all doing it, I'm just going to give my quick thoughts on what he was bringing up about the whole fact about legacy characters, or as I like to call them, more like generational characters. That's more the term I would go with it, because I had witnessed, like when these characters first took over these, like, mantles, I've witnessed the angry, chaotic fandom of like, no, Sam Wilson can never be Captain America. No, Jane Foster can never be Thor. No, why the fuck is Kamala Khan Miss Marvel? Get that shit back to Carol Danvers, shit like that. I have seen that shit. I have seen it when it was first conceived in the comics. I have been part of that fandom, like seeing all these people whining about the fact that their characters are either getting old or not in those same mantles, and you got these brand new young kids. Like, there was literally a part. Yeah, like people whining about that shit. Like there was literally a part, and I actually have it right here, where Marvel had this whole like comic thing called Generations, and it was basically highlighting the old and the new, and people were so up in arms about it. And in my eyes, I don't have a problem with the legacy characters, because either I know that, it's either not going to last, or it's been done because it's meant to be something. Like Miles, that's that one. So like Miles being Spider-Man, yeah, he's Spider-Man, but that doesn't replace or diminish whatever Peter Parker has done or ever has done in his life. Sam Alexander becoming Nova, that doesn't get rid of Richard Rider. Richard Rider was still technically around. Same with Sam Wilson. Steve was just old, and heck, when Steve got his serum back, both him and Sam were Captain America at the same time, until Sam eventually went back to being Falcon. And Jane, I've said this a million times to a million people, she never called herself Thor in the comics. Everyone else did, until Thor Odinson was like, you know what? You can be Thor for a while until I, discover myself again. So it's like, I get where people are coming from with legacy characters, but at the same time, I don't really have a problem with them. I think they're fine. They'll either amount to something, or they'll amount to, whatever they can. Most of the time, they're made as new characters. Other times, they're made, as part of a story. Like Jane's whole thing was part of Thor Odinson's long whole story of like, what it means to be mortal and what it means to be a god. But that's a whole topic for a different time. Maybe when we get to Thor 4, I don't know. But in regards to the finale, I actually really enjoyed my time. And when it comes to the whole, what do I enjoy a lot more, WandaVision or Falcon or Soldier, I like both of them for separate reasons. And that's because both shows have their own separate kind of feel. WandaVision had this more dark, twisted mystery going around it that was hiding behind the sitcom world. And then you had the Falcon and the Winter Soldier that was dealing more with the legacy of Captain America and what the legacy of Captain America means to the world and to these certain people like Isaiah Bradley, like the people of New York, like the government, and how everyone reacts to, whoever is Captain America, be it John, be it Sam, be it Bucky, whoever it is. And it's like, I like both shows for those separate reasons, so I can't really say which one I like the most. But in terms of Falcon and Winter Soldier, I enjoyed how it ended. And remember, Akasan, the last time we were talking about this, we were talking about episode 4, we were discussing about, how they were going to deal with the whole Isaiah Bradley situation. And we were discussing, are they going to let people know? And apparently they did, though subtly, they don't know it's him, but they do know now of Isaiah Bradley. And I feel like this definitely could as I said before, lead into his grandson or nephew. I can't exactly remember whatever it is right now, becoming the Patriot in the future. Like, I definitely think Falcon and the Winter Soldier, if it had come out at the time it was supposed to, if the pandemic did not happen, would definitely feel more like, okay, this is where Phase 4 is now. This is where we're going. We're changing things. You know, it's not going to be the same anymore. We have a brand new Captain America. Now we're about to go deal with whatever Wanda's, dealing with. Again, if it came out at a different time, maybe it would feel different, but that's just me. And also in regards to the suits, the comic book fan in me was very happy with it. Now I understand where everyone's coming from, and I understand where you guys were also talking about as when we were talking about it earlier. It's like, it felt a little bulky, and I will agree, it definitely felt bulky, but I think that's just because of the fact that, again, they had to rush things a bit because the pandemic had just started around that time. So if they wanted to slim it down, I don't know if they really had the time to. I mean, I wasn't expecting like full on like this, like straight up, but it was very close. And I appreciate what they did. And I'm pretty sure that in between now and either season 2 or Captain America 4, we'll get a much more slimmer looking, more like slimmer look to like something like what I just showed you guys, than to what Sam had on in that. And I do actually have to agree, he should have taken off that mask during that speech. It did look a little silly.
Yep. Yeah, he just looked goofy, man. Like he was like making a serious ass point, and I was like, "Go!" But I'm like, "Dude, you look like you're about to do paintball or something." Like, come on, like he didn't even look like that. Like, I'm trying to see if no, I don't have it. Like, see, this is the one. See, this is the one I was kind of expecting more or less, like more red and blue, where like I'm just like for me personally, that's not. Looking at like this looks weird, man. Looks really weird to me. So but that's just me. Like I like this more this kind of style with the red wings, because if anything, to me, I feel like the red wing style it keeps more of his Falcon image there. So that's a whole nother thing. It's just like all that white, it was just kind of, oh man, I don't know. For me personally, it's just weird. So
yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from with that. And again, they do have time to improve the suits. Within I definitely, because thinking about it, remember Age of Ultron, like Iron Man had like a totally like different suit at the end compared to what he was wearing the entire time. And then I think it's technically kind of the same suit, but it was improved a little bit when we got to Civil War. I think it's definitely going to be a similar situation like that, where it's like, oh, it's like this right here, but it's definitely going to be a lot more slimmer, or a lot more like, more comic accurate, where it's like, a lot more blue and red, as opposed to like, the whole white that was like sticking out at the top and with the mask. Like,
I mean, it's something. It's something to keep in mind. Like, they probably there's a whole nother thing about like they probably were trying to have him contrast a lot more with Steve, Captain America's, because even looking at it right now in comparison, it's like even Bucky had like a darker tone when he was Captain America in the comics.
It was like a very like dark at the bottom, and then like a metallic like blue on the top.
Yeah. And so Sam is coming out really white, and then Steve has his on the right hand side looks like more of the Winter Soldier outfit, his stealth our shield type outfit. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see just how they balanced all of it. It's just that personally, like that movie version was like, or the show, what we saw in the show was just kind of like, see, even something like that. See, I think I would have liked this a lot more. So if he's wearing those goggles, like it's just all that white was just like wild to me. I was just like, dude, like so look at that. And then look at that, like side by side. Personally, I think I like the one on the right a lot more. It just looks like it looks something like something a brother would wear. I'm just saying, like I mean, like on the right is the way you would go to the club now. On the left is the way your crazy ass uncle would show up, and like back in the day, you have a cane on the side, pimped out, pimped down. This is that. I guess on the left, that's more of a Atlanta style. On the right, that's how we do it in LA. I don't know. I'm sure.
I guess they had that decision of that red pill, blue pill situation. Like,
There you
which
go.
one we want more?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, all right, J King, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, as usual. Yes. See you
Yep.
on the next one. Later, man. There you go. Okay, let's see if we can try him again. DC fanboy.
You can hear me this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of coming through the matrix. Yeah, what's up? And we're losing him.
Okay, there we go.
And
Okay.
there you go. You good?
Yeah.
Wait, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, okay. We adapt. Anyway, so a quick review, I guess I would say, I really enjoyed the show. I liked it better than WandaVision, and I'll tell you why. Just this was always my most anticipated Marvel show ever since they announced it. Even when they announced like even more shows, this was always my most anticipated one because I just loved the Captain America side of Marvel, and I loved this like grounded like spy espionage that Winter Soldier and Civil War did, like that Russo brothers kind of action. That's my type of Marvel. Whenever they do that, because I don't like the cosmic stuff sometimes. Usually, like it's cool. It's like it's a fun still, but like I'm always for that like more grounded, choreographed action, and that's what the show had. And I enjoyed just like the discussion you can have with this show. Like it's not just an action show. Like you can also talk about like racial equality. You can like draw parallels. Like earlier we talked about like how the Flag Smashers, you can see them as all lives matter kind of like even if it's not correct, even if it's not what the director like I don't know if that's what the director intended, but like the fact that we can like talk about it and like draw
absolutely
parallels to like real life stuff, like that's something that's like that makes like a good show. It's like timeless almost. You can just like rewatch it and just always like enjoy it. And so that's also what I like about WandaVision. Like both of these shows are character driven. Like it's called The Falcon and Winter Soldiers, and you're watching The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like you're learning about them. This is like, I think to me, this is like their best performances from Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. Like if you didn't like these characters before, like you're probably gonna like them now, especially Sam. Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think like in Avengers Endgame, like when Steve gave him the shield, I wasn't sold on it basically, and like I needed like some more like proof, or like I want to see what he can do. And this show definitely like it's a journey for him. This is like his journey to becoming Captain America. That's what the show is. That's why at the end, that's when it says Captain America, because you got to go through this journey. He's obviously he denied it at first. He didn't think he was ready to live up to this legacy. And by the end, he definitely earned it. And if you're not convinced by the end of the show that he's not Captain America, then I don't know what to tell you, because it sold me. And I definitely now buy him as Captain America. And I can't wait to see him in Captain America 4 and whatever else he shows up in, like an Avengers movie or something.
Yeah.
And and so I mean that's how you guys feel mostly, right? Like you're still like are you sold that he's Captain America?
For the most part, for me, yeah. For the most part, yeah, I'm sold. And I kind of get why he gave it up in the beginning. That he had to, so he can build. So he had to kind of earn it to work his way up to being Captain America. It would have felt ingenuine if he would have just went from Falcon to Captain America. So he had to go through a journey. And I also get why they made the new Captain America so unlikable. So it's easy for us to move past that Captain America.
Good point.
The whole point was for us not to accept him as Captain America,
right?
Which makes it easier for us to accept Sam as being Captain America. Because if he'd have been likable, people would be like, "Wait a minute, this guy's freaking cool. Why? No, we like him." But no, he was a dick from the moment he came on the screen.
What you're trying to say is that Steve Rogers is Obama, John Walker was Trump, and then it's like, well, okay, Biden. He's no Obama, but I guess we're good with this. Yeah, it's better. It's better than that guy, the former guy. Yeah, okay, I got it.
It drives a good parallel because basically, like it showed me like it's a good love letter to Captain America. It really shows you what being Captain America is about.
I agree.
It made me like I actually like thought about it and reflected like what makes Captain America, and like I realized like it's not about the serum, because like a lot of complaints you hear is like Sam doesn't have the serum. In the comics he has the serum, but like in this one he's just a guy. Even Bucky, like he has super strength also and a metal arm. He should be Captain America, and I thought that too, but I just realized it's not really about the serum and the strength. It's more about like the heart, because that's what Steve really had. Like When he was
Yep.
skinny, when he didn't have the serum, like what really made him Captain America was his like will, his like heart, like always put himself before others. That's what made him Captain America. That's what made him worthy of Mjolnir. And that's what just makes him a hero. And that's what Sam has. That's why he denies the serum. He's like, he doesn't need the serum. Like, that's not what makes you Captain America. And, you know, John Walker's a good example of that. Like, even if you have the
Yep.
serum, you may be peak physical athleticness. You might be like 3 medals of honor. Like, but still, like, if you don't have that heart, if you're not willing to like put yourself before others and know what you want to do, like, you can't be Captain America. And I feel like Sam, like, going through that journey, like I said, like, he definitely, like, it shows, like, yes, he has what it takes. Like,
I
can
agree.
see him as
No,
Captain
I
America.
agree with you. I feel like but to answer your question earlier, like, you know, I accept him as Captain America, but I may not really be interested in him until I actually see him working with the Avengers and doing something on that same line of things, because it's the same thing for me with the original. Like, for me, I really didn't care for the first Captain America movie. I thought it was interesting, but I was just like, okay, whatever, let's just hurry up and form the Avengers. But I didn't actually really like Captain America until, man, like probably Age of Ultron.
Not even
getting I honestly I didn't really find Winter Soldier that interesting the first time I watched it. I know, it's crazy, right? For me, I was just like, damn, what the fuck is all this political shit? Like, and then going back and watching it, I'm like, this was a really good movie. But when I first went into it, I was expecting something coming off of Avengers. Like, I thought it was going to be like something a little different. And this whole political drama and what do they call it? Espionage. I was like, oh my God. But going back and rewatching it, I'm like, oh, this was so good. So it's very interesting to see. But I really didn't really see Steve Rogers and Chris Evans as a good Captain America until around that Age of Ultron time. It was very interesting to me. Yeah,
I've always loved the Winter Soldier. Like, that might be my favorite Marvel movie. I still have to think about it. Like, it's always back and forth with either Winter Soldier or an Endgame. Like, and it's crazy to think that like an Avengers movie at that high level can be like compared to the Winter Soldier. Like, I have to like fight. They have to fight for first place. Like, that's crazy.
Interesting.
That's how good that movie is. Like, I'd love it every time I watch it. I feel like I'd love it even more. Like, every time I watch it, I enjoy it more. And I rewatched it recently in order for like this show, because like obviously to prepare. So,
well, awesome, man. I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah. All right. Let's. And I can't wait for the future of the MCU. You know, like Captain America 4, all these other shows. Like, and also like the setup in this show for
Black Widow, Secret Invasion, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, or Mrs. Marvel, whatever that show is. Yeah. Whatever it is. Yeah, I'm down for all of it. Just pump it into my veins. Loki is next, I think. Yeah, I mean, we have come a long way since the days of, like, you guys are all talking about the first times you watch. Like, I still remember this dude being my Captain America.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
But no, it wasn't that bad back in the day. Like, you got to remember, like, back in the day, this is all we had, and like this was actually pretty damn cool. Punisher was a freaking Dolph Lundgren of all people. So yeah, that's the whole So, and we got it back then, and we liked it because we didn't have any other alternative. Well, appreciate it, DC fanboy.
Thank you
so much.
Take care, guys.
Okay, and here we go. Last one, and we are done. And he just disappeared. Damn. Okay, we lost him. Yeah, man. Remember those back in the day, man?
Yeah.
But they weren't like.
As a kid, they were great. They were great. As a kid watching them, they were great.
Yeah, I had those on my VHS. I used to play that all the time, man. Like those OG Captain America. But yeah, honestly, like some of these man-ups that I'm seeing now of like I'm really actually kind of enjoying this one image that I see of this color scheme. Yeah, honestly, I think I want this a lot more.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
But I can also see how this is too much of a too much of an exact copy of Captain America. His previous outfits in like Age of Ultron. I think Age of Ultron's outfit is very similar to this as well.
I think so. Yeah.
So I understand it. They want him to stand out a lot more, but I think this one works a lot better. So yeah. All right. I think we are going to wrap this up, guys. If Balta, what's his name, calls in, I'll take it. But he was kind of popping in and out, so I think he had kind of a connection problem. Yeah. So I guess we. What's the next big thing? Is it Black Widow? Yeah, I guess Black Widow.
Black Widow. Yeah, July, right? July.
No, I thought it was May. I could have sworn it was May.
I think they move it. Maybe I'm just thinking the Japan release date's July, but I don't know if it's for the rest of the world. You know, Japan's always behind.
Yeah, man. I don't even follow that anymore. I'm so pissed off because Godzilla versus Kong was supposed to come out next month. Actually, no. I don't think it got affected by because we for those of you that don't know, Japan just entered its third state of emergency. This one's a little more strict now, so Tokyo is somewhat of a ghost town now, looking like I Am Legend right now. So I thought Godzilla versus Kong was going to get affected, but actually for me the only thing that really got affected was My Hero Academia. The exhibition got closed down, so oh, here he goes. All right,
it's July.
Oh, is it July? Wait,
it's July.
What are we gonna do for like 2 months then? Like, there's nothing MCU. MCU. We don't. Wait, Loki is June. Wait.
Oh, Loki.
Loki's
June.
Well, what do we? Yeah, May. We don't have anything. We don't. How am I gonna survive?
So spoiled.
I know we're so fucking spoiled.
Yeah.
Like, do we have anything?
Because
Invincible's wrapping up, and we'll do a call in for that one when that show is.
I'm loving that. I just want to talk about that.
Well, that show is great. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can take him. Hey, Mick Thor, what's up? Baltimorean, can you hear us? Baltimorean, and what happened? Baltimorean, hello. Okay, he's having connection problems. All right. Next time, gotta call in gotta get that Wi-Fi. He must be calling in from Asgard or something. He's got that DC Sun connection. Anyways, yeah. So I guess May, we got nothing. Like, I guess Suicide Squad. No,
Suicide Squad. No, I don't know.
Yeah, Bad Batch. Oh, okay, we got the Bad Batch.
Okay.
I guess that's something. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Star Wars. I guess that's fine. I guess that's fine.
August.
You're gonna. Okay. And August is Suicide Squad. So yeah, basically Bad Batch and Army of the Dead. Superman and Lois. Yeah, that's true. Are you watching that, by the way?
I haven't started watching it yet. Is it good?
Oh, it's great, man.
It's great. It's probably the best. It's great.
Yeah, it's probably the best version of Superman we've gotten in a long time.
Honestly, I was sort of a fan of Lois and Clark back in the day.
Me too.
Yeah, I was a fan of that.
Baltimorean, are you there? Hello, Baltimorean? Nope. Yep. Nope. Going once. Going twice. He's I think he's reaching for his last breath. Oh, yes, we can hear you.
He did.
Oh, how technology. Yeah, I think he might have a delay as well.
Yeah,
or something
I think his
that.
mic's not working. It sounds like he's.
Yeah, no, he could. Yeah, it's weird. Like, it's so. All right, well, we'll have to get you on the next stream, man. It's funny how just technology, we're like so close, but just not everybody has it ready to go. So it's very interesting. He's getting dusted. That's funny. Thanos is at work here. Yeah. But I think join us, guys, for the next call-in discussion. Will probably be Invincible in 2 weeks. I think. I think
the last episode comes out next week. next Friday. Next Friday. The last
Okay.
episode.
So we have
Yeah.
2 more episodes of Invincible then.
Oh, one
Is
more.
that- Huh? So
One
you
more.
mean this?
Yeah, it's only because we watched 7.
Oh.
7 was this week, right? 7, I believe 7, and then.
Oh, wait! Damn, how are you still on American time? That's amazing, Tyrone.
Was
Like
that no?
because
It come. Yeah. There are only 8 episodes, and they've already aired 7.
right. So it would be this week.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah, you said next week.
No,
next
well,
Friday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shit. Because today's Monday.
Today's Monday.
Today's Monday. Yeah. So Friday.
But for a lot of our viewers, today is Sunday, so that's why.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
so
why
today's
for me,
Monday.
I'm like, okay, it's this week. Like that.
Oh yeah.
So anyway.
Well, yeah, because today technically is my Sunday because it's my day off. My day's off for Sunday, Monday. So,
I
so
see.
I always do Monday and Sunday. Oh, shit.
I see.
But yeah.
I see.
But yeah, so
that
yeah,
makes
Friday.
sense. Okay,
Yeah.
so basically, join us guys next week
Mm.
around the same time for an Invincible call-in. That'll be very interesting because it'll be the first time we've had a very non-Disney DC conversation in a long time. So yeah. You tried to connect. I don't know what happened. I didn't see your name. I see. You were Baltimore on. Yeah, good try though. Good try. You can always leave a comment in the comment section as well. I always try to put them up as well. Yeah. All right, guys. So I think that'll be it. I might be on a little later today to I need to do the Resident Evil thing. Yeah, so I probably will stream Resident Evil for a little bit. The demo. I didn't get a chance to play it, but I'm gonna watch somebody else play it and do a reaction to it. So we'll just do that.
It timed out on you.
No, the goddamn time zone. I didn't even get a chance to I downloaded it, but it was an 8-hour window only, right?
Yeah,
but for us, that was basically 9 a.m. to 5 o'clock. And so I was working that entire time. So I let Marta play for me instead, and she spent 20 minutes prepared, just roaming around the castle, and I think it just closed out on her, and that was it.
Yeah,
so,
I saw her video talking about it.
That's funny. That's hella funny.
Crazy.
But the game actually looks interesting.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick it up.
Are you gonna get it on? Wait, is people in the chat? Can you let me know did Resident Evil 7 ever come out for PC? I know the other ones came out, but if Village comes out on PC, I might wait for it because it's just easier for me to stream.
I think it's going to be on Xbox too, isn't it?
What?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, I think so. I might be wrong.
Really?
I might be wrong, but I
saw
it Xbox. Yeah, because if it does, then I will get it
on Xbox
until I can get a PS5, which is going to be
wait
2024.
Did you get the Xbox One XX whatever that thing
No. My next gen is going to be PS5. I already decided.
Oh, you're talking about the Game Pass, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I think it's going to be released on Xbox also, so I'll play it then. Because right now I'm playing Watch Dogs Legions because Cyberpunk was this.
Oh, you're playing it on PC then?
No, on Xbox.
Xbox what?
One.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not so bad, right? That's current generation, right? Not
it's not the newest, but it's still good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Then we're good then. Okay, cool.
Mm.
All right, awesome then. Okay, sounds like a plan then. Wait, my question for you guys is that do you think Isaiah's grandson as the Patriot will be their proto attempt of introducing a black teenage superhero before Miles? Wait, what? Isaiah, black teenage superhero before in the MCU? I don't know. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's that. So hold on, let me bring that up. So he's asking, my question for you guys is, do you think Isaiah's grandson as the Patriot will be their proto attempt of introducing a black teenage superhero before Miles? I don't think that's what their attempt will be, but some people might see it that way, if that makes sense, you know? So some people might see it that way, but I don't think so. Everything is scheduled to happen for a reason. There's something to keep in mind here is the fact that we still, I know it seems like forever, it's already been forever because we've had so many movies, but we're still dealing with a very young Spider-Man right now. We're still dealing with a Spider-Man that's essentially a little bit older than what Miles would be. So Miles was mentioned a little bit. Miles was mentioned in the first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, referenced, but it's way too early to be introducing Miles anytime soon right now. That's what I think. And so, if we can get the Patriot before that, I won't have a problem with it. I don't, and it's something to also keep in mind is that Miles is not necessarily, Miles isn't just black, he's Hispanic too. There's a whole nother world that you're dealing with like that representation of why Miles is so important. It's not just because he's black, he's a mixed race character, and that speaks to a lot of people. Particularly, he probably is one of the most New York examples of being a New York character,
pretty much.
He is New York, basically.
He is New York, yes.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And so that's one of the things, and that's what I got from the game as well, was like he's he doesn't see himself as just a black man. He sees himself as a product of America, as a product of minorities coming out. So but I don't think, like I said, so in short, I don't think that's something that Marvel was trying to like hurry up and push diversity as much as possible. I think they just want it to come naturally. And whenever the Young Avengers do get formed, let's hope it'll be natural like that. So, yeah. And yeah, that's a whole nother thing as well, is the fact that there's a whole problem with Sony as well. That's a whole nother thing that like anytime you want anything of the Spider-Man mythos, the one of the reasons why we don't even have Norman Osborn in the MCU. I wish we did. I wish we did, though. That would be great. All right, let's wrap it up, guys. I appreciate it. All of you guys, you had some great discussions, some great conversation. It was a really awesome time. Join us same time next week. Same Aka channel, same Aka station, for the Invincible conversation, and we'll talk to you on the next one. All right, guys, we are out of here. Peace. Ta-da. And we're done. Yeah.